We welcome you to Lazier Field at Evanston Township High School in Evanston, Illinois, where today the Chicago Force women's tackle football team comes back home to celebrate Alumni Day and try to move their record to 4-0 as the Force host the St. Louis Slam. Chicago Force football is brought to you by Spin Nightclub, Hop House in Rogers Park, Hot Doug's in Chicago, Athletico, Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, and Buffalo Wild Wings in Evanston. Hello, everyone. I'm Andy Garcia alongside number 31, Pam Schaffrath. It's good to have you along for Chicago Force football as they take on the St. Louis Slam. And Pam, let's talk about the Chicago Force. The last 2 weeks, this team now 3-0, but the last 2 weeks, the Chicago Force have outscored their opponents 119-0. A big part of that has been the defense.
Yeah, I think the defense this year, Andy, has just been waiting to come out of its shell, and I think the defense of the Force gets better each game. And last week was a perfect example of it. They came out as a defense very strong and showed them they were a force to be reckoned with.
The first week of play, the Chicago Force won at Kansas City 21-14. 2 weeks ago, here at home versus Columbus, 47-0, a big win for Chicago Force. Last week on the road at Indy, a division foe, the Force had their way 72-0 over the Indy Crash. And Pam, some of the stats from last week for the Chicago defense. 7 turnovers they forced, 4 defensive scores, 4 interceptions, all by Martha Dantuma. She scored on 2 of them, 4 forced fumbles, 3 sacks, and a safety. That's about as good as you can get from a defense in 1 week.
I know Coach Lewandowski is so happy with his defense. I know Coach Lewandowski has done an amazing job with the Force defense, and I think that's a big reason why this year's Force defense is so key. But when do you hear 4 interceptions in a game, Andy?
No, I mean, that's crazy.
By Martha Dantuma. I mean, that was with 2 for returns. I mean, that was huge. And I know Rebecca Tewstead had an awesome game. She's one of the only players on this team that is a Force original, number 21. Rebecca Tewstead, she had a great game. I know 2 forced fumbles and a sack.
Yep.
And let's talk about Kim Marks, who's having an amazing year.
Kim Marks, 6 tackles, 5 of them for loss, 2 sacks, a fumble recovery for a touchdown. She had an outstanding day. What a good game for her. Also, Darcy Leslie, 8 tackles, 1 for loss, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and a safety. Kim Marks, Darcy Leslie, really the 2 anchors on this defense.
Yeah, Darcy Leslie has been a mainstay for this defense since 2008 when she first started with the Force, and she's just getting better and better each year, and she's going to be a big key in today's game. She's got to keep making a lot of tackles and have a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
If this is your first time tuning in on AM 1230 WJOB or ChicagoForceFootball.com and see the stream, this is semi-pro women's tackle football at its best. Chicago Force, St. Louis Slam, 2 of the better teams in this league this year, Pam. And when we talked a little bit about the Chicago Force offense, not too bad on their side last week, 446 yards.
Not too bad at all.
Also, a good quarterback play from L.B. Zuby last week, and then the running game from Melissa Smith and Brandy Hatcher.
Yeah, it says a lot. We didn't have our star quarterback, Sammy Gersafi, with us last week. It says a lot about this team. Someone like Albiona Zuby could come in, step right in, and do as well as she did. It just says a lot about the Force and how deep we are as a team.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Chicago Force opponent today, the St. Louis Slam. They come in overall 2 wins, 1 loss after a big win on the road last week as they beat up on Kansas City last week. A big win for them. But these 2 teams, the Force and the Slam, pretty close to one another, both not just in stats, but really in player availability and how these 2 teams can perform.
Yeah, similar type teams in the fact that it's both their 10th season. So there's a lot of history behind both teams. They're one of the top, I would say, both teams, at least top 10 in the league. They're both well coached, and they're both offensive-minded teams, but they also have good players on their defense that are very, very strong. But so very similar teams. And I got to tell you, Annie, both teams right now, I look at it as this way. I look at it as there's 8 games in a season. This is the 4th game for both of them, and you're going into second half now. You don't want to go into the second half on a low. Right. Both teams want to win today. They want to go into the second half of the season on a high. So it's a big game for both teams today.
It's an 8-game season for these teams. And again, the Force 3-0, St. Louis Slam 2-1. Taking a look at both offenses, very close statistically-wise too. Chicago Force offense averaging 47 points per game. That's 8th. The St. Louis Slam offense, 44 points per game. That's 9th in the Women's Football Alliance. The Chicago Force offense, 7th overall. The Slam, 6th overall. Rushing the ball, 2nd in the WFA for the Chicago Force, and 3rd overall for the WFA for St. Louis Slam. And for the Slam, they're led by their quarterback, Kate Evers, that option run. They like to run the ball. They can throw it a little bit, but they're good when they can run the ball.
Yeah, quarterback Kate Evers of the St. Louis Slam is their key player, and Andy, she leads the league in touchdowns, whether it be passing and rushing. A total, she's a big key to the St. Louis Slam offense. And Andy, when you look also at scoring, Force is 8th in the league, Slam is 9th in the league. You look at their stats offensively, and it's pretty much the same. What it's going to come down to today is the defense. Who's going to be able to stop the running games on both ends, and I think that's going to be the key to this game.
If you're looking on ChicagoForceFootball.com, you can see right now the St. Louis Slam quarterback, Kate Evers, comes in passing this season 17 of 42, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but we talk about her on the running game as she is 3rd in rushing in the league, 42 carries, 562 yards, 8 touchdowns. Last week alone, Pam, she had 4 rushing touchdowns, 247 yards rushing the ball, and she's kind of the wheel that goes for this offense for the Slam.
Yes, the St. Louis Slam offense starts with her, and the key to her game is her feet. She definitely runs more with the ball, and their offense is based around her running around the ends. And the defense today for the Force has to contain her, which is going to be a key to this game. We'll talk about those later. But, yeah, this Slam offense starts with that quarterback, Kate Evers. 2
good running backs in the game today, too, for the St. Louis Slam, led by number 37, Taylor Hay, 47 carries, 359 yards, 3 touchdowns. Last week, 18 carries, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns for her. She's 8th in rushing. And then Melissa Smith for the Chicago Force, who's 4th in the WFA in rushing, 61 carries, 544 yards, 7 touchdowns. And as you said, the defense is going to be so key because it's going to be the defense that kind of steps up and makes that big play that may stop one of these offenses.
Yeah, it's going to come down to which defense, whether it be the Force or the Slam, is going to come up and stop the potent running games of the Slam and the Force. And if you look at both teams, too, you talk about Kate Evers, that has 562 yards rushing on the year. Taylor Hay, 359 yards rushing on the year. They kind of got a 1-2 punch with Kate Evers and Taylor Hay, but then you got a 1-2 punch with Melissa Smith and Brandy Hatcher of the Force. So very similar running games for both teams.
Again, the St. Louis Slam 2-1 overall. They started the season with a 59-0 win versus Minnesota, the Machine. Then they lost at Kansas City to the Tribe, a team that the Force won against in the first week. St. Louis lost to Kansas City 33-14, and then last week they played the other Kansas City team. That's the Kansas City Spartans. The Slam won 59-0. Just about to kick it off, the both teams are getting ready. Let's take a break. We could just get you ready for the kickoff. Once again, it's the St. Louis Slam 2-1 taking on the Chicago Force 3-0. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the opening coin toss. We'll have the national anthem. We'll have the kickoff between the Force and the Slams. This is Chicago Force Football right here on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB.
WJOB Hammond.
Hey everybody, I'm Jim Deedlow. I'm the morning host here at WJOB. And I'm also one of the guys that's coming up with this great idea that WJOB goes into the next generation and we get a nice video situation going on. And you're watching that right now. Check us out at WJOB1230.com and you'll learn all about our video as we move into the next generation. We're happy to be with you guys, and we're happy to be keeping pace with technological innovation here in the Calumet region. I'm Jim Deedlow. Thanks a lot.
Athletico. Isn't it about time you came off injured reserve? Schedule a complimentary injury screening at any of our convenient locations and receive personal attention by a licensed medical professional. Complimentary injury screenings are free, easy to schedule, and most importantly, provide you with peace of mind. Call 1-877-ATHLETICO or visit us online at athletico.com to find a location near you. Athletico, the official provider of physical therapy and athletic training to the Chicago Force. Spin Nightclub is a sponsor of our Game Day MVP Award. At the end of each home game, we select an offensive and defensive
The Chicago Force, entering its 10th anniversary season, is a proud member of the Women's Football Alliance. The WFA plays under the same full-contact football rules as the NFL. Comprised of 60 teams from across the United States and Mexico, the WFA is the largest women's American football league in the country. From Florida to Oregon and from New England to California, the WFA consists of the best teams in the nation.
We welcome you back to Lazier Field here at Evanston Township High School. Andy Garcia alongside Pam Schaffrath as we get ready for Chicago Force football as the Force take on the St. Louis Slam. And Pam, before we get here, the kickoff and the national anthem, what are some of the keys for you for both teams as we get ready for the kickoff here?
Well, I think for the Force offense, their offensive line has to do a good job with the Slam's linebackers. They have a really good linebacker core that are good tacklers. Force's offense has to block them and establish their running game. Also mix it up with the passing game with Sammy Grisafi and all of our good wide receivers, because that'll keep their defense on the Slam defense on their toes. On defense, the Force has to stop Kate Evers. Key to the game. They've got to stop their running game, and they've got to do a good job of containing. For the Slam on offense, they've got to take advantage of the outside of the Force defense. If there's any weakness in the Force defense, it's the outside. And they also have to stop the Force pressure. Force does a good job of putting pressure on the quarterback. If the Slam could stop their pressure, they're going to do it. I think they'll have a good day. On the defense side of the ball, the Slam has to stop Melissa Smith. Number one, if I'm the offensive coordinator for the Slam, my key is to stop Melissa Smith. It's a big part of our offense. Stop her, and they also need to put some pressure on Grisafi. If Sammy Grisafi steps back in the pocket, you give her time, she's going to make completions. You've got to put a little pressure on Sam and get a little physical with her. Speaking
of Sammy Grisafi, she's going to perform the national anthem. 6-year veteran of the Force, quarterback, well known for her musical talents, and be sure to check out Sammy's new album, Atlantis. But we're getting ready for the national anthem. Sammy Grisafi will be performing it momentarily. We get closer to kickoff between the Chicago Force and the St. Louis Slam. Again, the Slam come in 2-1. The Chicago Force 3-0. See if the Force can continue that perfect record. Get the win over the Indy Crash last week. Was a divisional win. St. Louis Slam 2-1. Just about to have the national anthem from Sammy Grisafi.
Yeah, Sammy Grisafi is definitely a talent on the field, but off the field, she's singer-songwriter on her way up in the music world.
The weather forecast was supposed to be, about 72, partly cloudy, but with that fog today, Pam, it just never really got to there. I think about, 59 degrees here right now. A little bit warmer than it was last home game, but still, did the weather affect anything of these players today?
No, I think today's a perfect day for football. Actually, this weather is perfect because it's not too hot, not too cold. So I think it's a perfect day for football.
Here's the national anthem from Force quarterback Sammy Grisafi. Again, 6-year veteran. Don't forget, the new album Atlantis is coming out. Here is Sammy Grisafi with the national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the
That was Chicago Force quarterback singing the national anthem, Sammy Grisafi. Don't forget her anthem, her album Atlantis is out. Fantastic national anthem as we get ready for the St. Louis Slam taking on the Chicago Force semi-pro women's tackle football here on ChicagoForceFootball.com. and AM 1230 WJOB. Andy Garcia alongside Pam Traffrath just before we start to kick it off.
Wow.
And also a very special day here for the Chicago Force because of Alumni Day. And one of those special guests that we have today will be tossing the coin toss. And doing that today will be Chicago Force team founder Lisa Cole. Lisa established the team in 2002, remained involved in management until 2004 when she relocated to the East Coast. She's remained a big diehard fan and supporter of the team throughout the subsequent years and has recently moved back to Chicago. So it's great to have Lisa Cole back here doing the coin toss, Pam.
Andy, Lisa Cole, an old teammate of mine, an old friend of mine, and she was the one that had the dream 10 years ago to start a women's football team. So she's a big part of this organization. And to have her here today on Alumni Day, she moved back to the city. She's rekindled a lot of her friendships here. But with the Force players, Andy, once you're a part of this team, you're never apart. And I know she feels that today while she's here.
At midfield for the Chicago Force, Keisha Brooks, Candace Griffin, Elby Zuby, and Amber Burns will be the captains for today as Lisa Cole has the coin and we'll flip it up here at midfield. St. Louis Slam, not a lot of players on their team, so a lot of their players are going to have to go both ways, and you think that may be a factor in today's game?
I think it's going to be a huge factor, Andy, in today's game. I think the Chicago Force has more depth, has a bigger roster, and like you said, St. Louis Slam, a lot of their players go both ways. They're great athletes. It's hard to go both ways in the game of football, so I believe that's going to be a key factor. They might get a little tired today, and it might be the difference in the game.
Again, the coin toss taking place at midfield. Looks like the Force are going to decline, so it looks like the Slam will get the ball first.
Which is great. I think it's a great idea to have defense on the field first. You set a standard. You set the tone with that first hit.
No, it's great to see Lisa Cole and the rest of the alumni here today for Alumni Day. It's always very special for all the former players to come back and support the team still too.
Yeah, every year, Andy, we've made sure we had an alumni game where the alumni players come out and support the team. There's always players that come out and support the team, but this is really a special day for the alumni players to get together, see each other again, and don't forget where they came from, and that's the Chicago Force, and to support the team this year.
Once again, Chicago Force football taking on the St. Louis Slam, just about to kick it off. And again, if this is your first time with the Chicago Force, NFL rules, 100-yard field, all the same rules you'll see in the National Football League. Pam, you see it today, and the women play it very well, as we had Israel Donajay up here 2 weeks ago, and he was very impressed with the quality of play.
I always stress from the first year that women's football is not powder puff football. It's not lingerie football. When you get between the two white lines, it's 100 yards. Football is football. I don't care if you're 10. I don't care if you're 5 years old. I don't care if it's midget league. I don't care if it's women's football. And anyone that comes out to see women's football, Andy, they're going to see a good product. I guarantee it.
So the St. Louis Slam will get the ball first back deep. For the Slam, it will be Tiffany Williams-Buckley, number 81, and also 37, Taylor Hay. And Taylor Hay's a pretty special player. She's one of the main players for the offense on the Slam, but she also can kick the ball. We'll talk about that when we get into special teams, too. It'll be Trisha Charbonneau kicking it back deep to the Slam as we're underway. High end-over-end kick, bounces at the 25, picked up at Hay by Hay at the 25, up to the 30, moves to her right at the 35, tripped up, should be taken down at the 36-yard line, and that's where the St. Louis Slam will start their offense, led by quarterback number 4, Kate Evers. Comes in 218 passing yards for the season, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but she loves to run the ball. 42 carries, 562 yards, 8 touchdowns in the season. Kate Evers is 3rd in rushing in the league so far.
I do know the Force defense, their key player right now, their key is the focus on Kate Evers.
Evers in the shotgun. Hay in motion to the near side, gets a snap. Handoff, fakes it, keeps it at the 35, makes a move at the 40. Makes one man miss, out to the outside, beats Finestone at midfield, should be pushed out of bounds there, right at midfield. And we see it the first play, Pam. Kate Evers knows how to run that ball, that zone read that they like to run. She got a good gain. 1st down and 10 for the St. Louis Slam.
Good start to the game for the St. Louis Slam. They went with their bread and butter. Kate Evers fake handoff the other way. She had a good block on the outside and cut in. I think Force's main concern was contain. Well, on that play, Kate Evers cut inside. So the middle linebacker's got to make that play.
1st down and 10 from the St. Louis Slam. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hay in the backfield, shotgun formation for Evers. Gets a snap, hand off to Hay. Right up the middle, she's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. First touch by Candace Griffin. Then a whole bunch of Force players got in there. No gain on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
That was a good call by Coach Lewandowski, the Force defense. What Candace Griffin did on that play, Andy, was a blitz on the outside, and she read that right away and was able to make the tackle in the backfield.
2nd down and 10 for the St. Louis Slam. Again, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Taylor Hay back in the backfield with quarterback Kate Evers in the shotgun. Fakes a handoff. It looks like a bad play. Evers is going to be taken down for a loss. Loss of 4. First in there is Amber Burns. It looked like Evers wanted to hand it off to Hay, and Hay didn't know she was supposed to get it. It'll be a loss on the play for St. Louis. It'll be 3rd down and 14.
It almost looked like Evers wanted to do a little flip pass to her running back too. But I was talking to Amber Burns, before the game today, and she told me she wants to be in there at middle linebacker. And she did a real good job on that play and got in the backfield and was able to read that play.
3rd and 14 for the Slam at their own 46-yard line. Evers in shotgun. Gets a snap, hand off to Hay, up the middle to the 50, and should be taken down just inside Force territory. Tripped up there. It's going to bring up 4th down, and we'll call it 10. You will not see, we'll see a lot of these teams in the WFA go for it on 4th down. We'll see, though, at midfield if the Slam want to punt it or maybe go for it on 4th down. It's 4th down and 10.
Yeah, I think with the running game that they have, and they've got a pretty good drive going right now, I think there might be a chance they might want to go for it on 4th and 10 here. They're at midfield. We'll see what happens, Andy.
Here we go. St. Louis in the spread. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side.
Not playing conservative. I like it.
Evers
They're
in
going
shotgun.
for it.
4th down and 10, just inside midfield.
Oh,
They're going to punt it away.
okay.
Evers is going to punt it. No one back deep for the Force. It's going to bounce at the 20, take a slam bounce, and the Slam are going to down it at the 11-yard line. So a smart play from head coach Quincy Davis of the St. Louis Slam, pushing the Force back deep. The Force will start way back at their own 11-yard line for their first offensive drive.
Yeah, it looked like they were playing risky there, Andy, but it wound up they wound up punting it, and now they have really good field position as a defense against the Force. Looks like we got number 21, Tusted, limping off the field right now. I hope she's okay. She's one of the original Force members, the only one on the team today.
So the Chicago Force take over on their first offensive drive, led by Sammy Grisafi in the shotgun. Gets a snap, hand off to Hatcher. Moves to her left, in the inside. 15, 20
Yes!
on the run. 25, 30,
Yes!
35, 40. There's about 3 Slam players forcing her down at midfield. Nice run from Brandy Hatcher. A 39-yard run on 1st down. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Chicago Force.
That was a great counter play. Looked like Sammy was going the other way, Hatcher the other way. You know what, Andy? That was similar to the first play that the St. Louis Slam run without Sammy taking the ball. Just like Evers kept the ball, it was almost the same exact play as the Slam, but she went with the handoff to the running back. Great play for the Force.
They're going to mark her down at the Force 49-yard line. Grisafi in the shotgun. Got the bounce. Checked at that Zuby at quarterback. At the 50, the 45, 40. Inside to the 30. She's tripped up inside the 30-yard line in the St. Louis Slam. LB Zuby, the quarterback, and we saw how good she did last week against the Indy Crash. She had over 120 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, rushing the ball last week. Nice play for her on 1st down inside the 30 for the St. Louis Slam.
Typical Coach K, putting in another quarterback and mixing it up for the Force offense.
1st down and 10 at the 29. Grisafi in the shotgun, moves to her right, throws it to the right sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. Tried to get it to Elizabeth Straczynski, just a little bit short on the pass. It's going to be incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Force.
Yeah, little rollout, cutback, little rollout by Sammy, cutback route by Straczynski, but it looked like the timing was off a little bit there, but good call by the Force. They want to mix it up a little bit here to keep the St. Louis defense on their toes.
The Force spreading it out. 2 good defenses here today. As we said, both of these teams very close statistic-wise. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Force at the 29-yard line. Grisafi in the shotgun. The players will look to the sideline, see if head coach John Konecki likes the player, he'll change it. Grisafi waits for the snap. Gets it, looking to throw, throwing it deep. Down the right sideline to Straczynski, is going to be too far. Ball goes into the end zone about 10 yards too far for Strozinski. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. The Force are at the 29-yard line of St. Louis Slam.
Now, Andy, Coach K's mixing up here with running plays and passing plays because he wants to keep the St. Louis defense on their toes. He doesn't want to just be a running game today. He's got to spread it out so certain plays can work. But on that play, there was pressure by the St. Louis Slam defense, Atlanta Fields, and I said that was going to be a key today. Sammy had to get rid of that ball quick.
3rd down and 10 for the Force. Versafi in the shotgun. Hand off to Hatcher. Right up the gut. Breaks one tackle down to the 21-yard line. It's going to be close to the 1st down. It's going to bring up 4th down and 2. And talking to head coach John Konecki before the game, Pam, he talked to me about, the defense gave us such good field position last week that we gotta put those in for points. We've got to go in there and get touchdowns. When the defense gives us such good field position, we're down here like this. We've got to punch it in.
Absolutely. When the defense does their job, the offense has to do their job. And when you have that kind of tandem, Andy, you're going to be tough to beat.
The ball will be marked at the Slam 21-yard line. It'll be 4th and 2 for the Force. Bunch formation. I formation. Melissa Smith is the tail in the I. Grisafi with the handoff under center to Smith's. Got the 1st down and more. At the 10, at the 5. Bowls over one, tackles in for the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago Force. What a run from Melissa Smith from 21 yards out. And the Chicago Force have the 6-0 lead.
Wow. Chicago Force, that was the first run by Melissa Smith today, right up the middle. I got to give credit to the Force offensive line. I think that was that big package that they put in when they're close to the red zone. And it looks like a St. Louis player is hurt. Hope she's okay. When you tackle Melissa Smith, you've really got to wrap her. She's a big-sized running back, and she keeps those legs moving. She did a good job of keeping that shoulder down.
I did not get the number of the player down. I don't want to guess too much, but it looks like it's 81, Tiffany Williams-Buckley. I might be wrong. Let me make sure I'm got that right. But a 21-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith. That's her 8th rushing touchdown of the season. Gives the Force a 6-0 lead. The medical staff still taking a look at the injured Slam player. What a play from the offensive line of Chicago Force. Just making those holes, and Melissa Smith did most of the work when she got inside the 10-yard line, bowled over a couple of tacklers, and got into the end zone.
Yeah, it all starts with the offensive line, Andy, and all 3 running plays today, 2 with Brandy Hatcher and 1 with Melissa Smith. The middle was wide open. They were able to cut back, follow their blockers, and get out into the open field for large gains.
It was on 4th down and 2, and the Force get the touchdown.
And St. Louis Slam has a hell of a linebacker crew. And the Force's line, which is a veteran line with Dawn Peterson, Keisha Brooks, Roz Bennett, they've got a really experienced offensive line, and they're doing their job today. That they've done a really good job establishing the running game early.
And Pam, we talked about how St. Louis is not that deep. A lot of the players play both sides of the football, so an injury like this could be costly for the team.
It could be devastating for the St. Louis Slam. Let's hope that she's okay and she walks off the field.
Looks like she's still on the turf. Again, the medical staff taking a look. Again, it's 6-0 Chicago Force. 21-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith. And it looks like she's looking to get up a little bit. Hopefully it's not too serious.
Yeah, she's in good hands with the medical staff, looks like, on the St. Louis Slam, but I do know we have a really good medical staff on our side, too, with BC, who is our head trainer, and looks like she's out there, too.
Again, the Chicago Force celebrating Alumni Day. A lot of the former players coming out, and you get the defensive stop on the first drive of the Slam. The defense comes out and makes a point, and then you have the Force offense go down the field, starting at their own 11-yard line to take it 89 yards on the drive, finishing with the touchdown.
Yeah, defense makes a good stop and comes out with their running game and really sets a tone for the game with that running game.
And it looks like she's up, and it is number
That's
81.
Great news.
Tiffany Williams-Buckley getting up. Hopefully not too serious. Tiffany taking
sometimes
some time, get off the field, but it looks like she should be okay, hopefully.
Yeah, sometimes you get a little stinger in your shoulder tackling someone like Melissa Smith. Hopefully she'll be back in the game soon. You can't just arm tackle Melissa Smith. You take her head on, you got to really wrap her up because she's, like I said, she's going to roll you right over if you don't wrap her up.
Sharvey's back in, get the PAT. 6-0 Force with 10:10 to go here in the first quarter. Sharvey waiting for the snap. 6-0 Force. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. It hit the crossbar, but it went over. Good PAT, so the score right now with 10:10 to go in the first quarter, it's the Chicago Force 7, the St. Louis Slam nothing.
Yeah, Sharp is one of the veterans of the team. She's probably played every position out here on the field. I remember she was a tight end one year. She was heavier one year. She was on the line, and then she went to linebacker, and now she's a kicker. She's probably played every position out there.
So we'll see the St. Louis Slam with their second offensive drive, and it started out okay. Kate Evers is able to get to the outside with that zone read, but then the Force defense kind of clamped down a little bit and stopped it.
Yeah, the Force defense did a good job of stopping those few plays, but that first play with Kate Evers just shows how dangerous she could be. So it'll be interesting to see what St. Louis Slam comes out with here, and it'll be interesting to see if they pass a little bit to open up their offense.
Back deep for the St. Louis Slam is Kate Evers and Taylor Hay. Not too often you see the quarterback back there, but hey, when she's that good of a runner.
Yeah, I mean, you have got to use her. Best athletes on the field here.
Kickoff is going to go out of bounds, so it'll be
Good
a flag. So the Slam will have good field position to start off as Sharby's kickoff went out of bounds. Maybe that's a good thing. You keep the ball away from Evers or Taylor Hay.
Kind of like, what's his name on the Bears, Devin Hester. You keep the ball away from him as much as you can.
So here come the St. Louis Slam on their second drive.
Well, I got to tell you, I think the Chicago Force defense, if I notice the last set of downs, they're going to put a lot of pressure. You're going to see, 8 people on the line of scrimmage. You're going to see a lot of blitzing. And, and Kate Evers is going to see that, and let's see what she can do with it.
With the penalty, with the kickoff going out of bounds, St. Louis will start at their own 40-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for the Slam. 10-10 to go in the first quarter. The Force up 7-0. Evers in shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Gets a snap, hand off to Hay. Broke 1 tackle at the 40 to be taken down at the 43-yard line. Nice play from Kim Marks. Kim Marks with 4 sacks this season, including 2 last week. Nice tackle from her. It's going to be second down and 7 for the Slam.
Yeah, Marks is coming out. Kim Marks is coming out with a vengeance this year. She's really having a good season, and she's really stepping up as a leader of this team.
Second down and 7. Somewhat of a huddle. The team looked over to the side, got the offensive call. Evers in shotgun. She has Taylor Hay to her left. Receiver in motion, handoff to Evers to the left side. Breaks 2 tackles. Nice play. Emma Feinstone had her. So did Candace Griffin. She was able to get out of that tackle. Goes out of bounds at the 45-yard line, maybe the 46. It'll bring up 3rd and 3.
And if you notice, Andy, every time Kate Evers touches the ball, the Force is doing a good job of containing. They're in the right spots, but there's some missed tackles. They're getting a hand on Evers, but they're not making the tackle. Force has to do a better job of making that initial tackle, but Kate Evers is very elusive. She does a good job of shedding tackles, too.
3rd and 4 for the Slam at their own 46-yard line. Evers in shotgun, fakes the handoff to Hay. Now there's pressure. Has to move to her left. Going to go out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Nice pressure in there from Candace Griffin and Kim Marks. Evers gets for the 48-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down and 2 for the Slam.
Really nice pressure by the Force, Marks and Candace Griffin. But that play right there, Andy, goes to show you how fast Kate Evers really is. Because it looked like she was going to pass on a pass play there, but she got to the outside with her feet. She's a really fast player out there. She's tough to catch on that outside.
Last time the Slam had the punt, they were in the shotgun formation, and Kate Evers punted it away. Let's see what they do here. It's 4th down and 2 at their own 48-yard line. Evers back in shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hay to the right of her. Evers going to move to her right. She's going to try to go for the first down. Has to break 1 tackle. Nice block. Wow. To the 40. To the 30. And then Martha Dantuma is going to take her out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Nice run for the St. Louis Slam, and what a block.
I believe that was number 22 on Amber Burns.
Yes, it is. Amber Burns is hurt. She did not see that block
that
coming.
Was called.
It was a blind.
That's called. You know what, Andy? That's actually as a blocker out there. That's like one of the best blocks you can make. It's a blindside block, and they set up that play perfectly. Where Evers cuts to the outside on the long side of the field with her speed, she got outside, and that wide receiver put a block on our linebacker and was able to gain it for a long, long gain.
Burns was trying to go after her. It looked like Evers did have the corner on her, but then the block came and Evers was able to get to the outside.
You know what that kind of block is called? It's called a crackback block. crackback.
Illegal block.
It's a legal block. It's a crackback block. I hope Amber Burns is okay. She didn't see it coming, but that play is exactly set up that way. And you know what? What the defense needs to do on a play like that is when they see that crackback coming, they need to say crackback to Amber Burns, and that didn't happen, as you could tell. But her defense needs to help her with that crackback block. They didn't see it coming either.
That was a 32-yard run for Kate Evers on 4th and 2. And Amber Burns is still down now. They're going to roll her over to her back. Hopefully just the wind knocked out of her. Hopefully not too serious, because Amber Burns, one interception already this season, but she's one of those mainstays on the defense.
Amber Burns is a veteran on this defense. She's someone that played with the boys as a young girl. She knows the game of football. Her family's always had a lot of support. I played with her. She's a great teammate. She played with a broken hand one year. She's really a tough player, and I think she's going to be okay. I do know she had a neck injury at the beginning of the year, so I hope this didn't aggravate it. But Amber Burns is a veteran part of this defense, and I hope she's okay.
Head coach John Konecki is coming back to the sideline after taking a look at Amber Burns. The medical staff taking their time, especially as you said, if Amber's had a neck injury in the past, just going to make sure they take their time and get all the precautions.
Like I said, she's a veteran player, fifth-year player, knows the game of football. She's in the right spot to make that tackle. It's just, the game of football and a crackback block. And St. Louis executed that play pretty well.
8:32 to go in the first quarter. Chicago 4-7. The St. Louis Slam, nothing. This is the second offensive drive for the Slam. They were stopped on their first drive. They had the punt. The Chicago Force took it over at their own 11-yard line, took it 89 yards for the touchdown, 21 yards out, a touchdown run from Melissa Smith. PAT was good, made it 7-0.
It's hard to see injuries in the beginning of a game like this, Andy.
All right, let's take a break. We'll see how Amber Burns is. She is up.
She is up. Great.
We'll keep it here. Amber Burns looks like she's up.
It's good
Hopefully
news.
Nothing too serious.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get back to play here on this foggy night here in Chicago.
She's a tough ball player. Look at her. She's ready to go back in. I just know it.
So now the St. Louis Slam will have it at the Force 20-yard line. It'll be first down and 10.
Looks like she's going to be okay.
She's tough.
She is. It's always good seeing someone walk off the field on their own.
The St. Louis Slam offense, very potent. 6th overall in the WFA, led by their quarterback, Kate Evers. 3rd in rushing in the league. We showed it there on that 4th down play, getting to the outside.
Offense, Andy, is all about deception and execution. And if St. Louis Slam offense could deceive the Force defense today on different sets of plays, that's going to be key for them. But it's going to be hard to do that against the Force defense.
Here's the Slam. Evers gets the shotgun snap, goes right up the middle to the 15. Might have gotten to the 14-yard line. Nice run on first down for St. Louis. Inside the 15-yard line of the Force, it's going to bring up 2nd down and about 4.
I always said with the game of football, Andy, it starts with the line of scrimmage. And on that play, St. Louis Force's line of scrimmage, offensive line did a good job of pushing our defensive line back. And I got to tell you, St. Louis, Kate Evers is small. Someone small like that and fast is really tough to tackle.
2nd down and 4. Ball at the Force 14-yard line. Hay in the shotgun. Handoff to Hay. Tries to go to the outside. Nice tackle from behind, and we're going to get a flag. Might have been a horse collar tackle from Darcy Leslie.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a horse collar tackle. Looked like she just grabbed the back of her jersey, not necessarily her shoulder pad. So I don't know if I agree with that call.
They're going to call a face mask penalty. That's going to be a first down for the Slam.
Okay, Darcy Leslie, though, big key to the Force defense, showed her athletic ability there, coming in a blitz, coming to the outside and making that play. That was a really good play by Darcy Leslie.
Leslie leading the team in tackles, 25.5 tackles this season, 1 sack, but she had an outstanding game last week against Indy. 8 tackles, 1 for loss, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and a safety. How about that for a game for Darcy Leslie?
Darcy Leslie is one of those big hitters. She's someone that's made for defense, Andy. She's very athletic, very fast, and really has good form tackling. And you put her in a position to make a play, she's going to make it.
So it's going to be first down and goal for the Slam at the Force 7-yard line. St. Louis on their second offensive drive. The Force up 7-0. Slam in shotgun. Evers waiting for the snap. Gets it. 3-step drop, looking to throw on the left side, and it's going to be incomplete. Tried to get it to her receiver, number 86, Gail Graff. incomplete. The ball was there. Graff just not able to make the catch. It's going to bring up second down and goal.
The ball was there. Looked like a little slant play, little slant route. The ball was there, but I got to tell you, Emma Feinstone, number 14 for the Force, second-year player. She has 5 deflected passes this year. She's little but mighty, and she did a good job of that on that play.
Second down and goal from the 7. Evers in shotgun. Taylor Hay to her left. Gets a snap, fakes a throw to the right, now moves to her left. She's got Sammy Skirdo trying to track her down to the 10. She's going to beat her to the outside, go to the goal line. She's just going to be short. Inside the 2, it's going to be marked at the 1-yard line. Evers down to the 1. It's going to bring up third down and goal from the 1-yard line.
Now, number 55 of the Force, Sammy Skirdo, had outside contain on that. Did a really, really good job on outside contain. She had Kate Evers, and I got to tell you, did you see what Kate Evers did on that? She did a little hesitation throw, which made Sammy Skirdo hesitate a little bit, and that's what made her get outside almost for the score.
Third and goal from the 1. St. Louis Slam waiting for the calls from the sideline. It is fun watching two teams like this be able to run the ball like that. Kate Evers got some speed to the outside. It's going to be a shotgun. Taylor Hay now going to move to the right of Evers in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, and we're going to get a timeout. Timeout called from the St. Louis Slam. They're going to talk it over with 6:36 to go in the first quarter. The Force up 7-0, but St. Louis is on the doorstep.
This is important for St. Louis to score, and I think St. Louis Slam called a timeout just for that very reason. The Force just marched the ball 86 yards down the field and scored. Now it's their turn, and they want to set a tone here and say, hey, you know what? We could score too. So this is an important important touchdown for them to make this touchdown.
Hey, we got some pretty cool fans here today. The women of the Windy City Rollers are here today.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They like to talk derby, hard-hitting, lightning fast, and full of attitude. Modern roller derby is one of the fastest-growing new sports in the country. For more information on the Windy City Rollers, visit their table outside the concourse if you're here at the game. But you can also look for them online, the Windy City Rollers, and take a look. That roller derby is pretty cool.
It's awesome, and you know we've always been the Force and the Chicago Derby team has always been kind of partners. You know, we support each other. We go to their games. We do fundraisers with them, and I think it's important women's sports has that support.
Yep.
In the city, in the great city of Chicago.
Coming out of the timeout, it's going to be third down and goal for the Slam. Ball at the Force 1-yard line. It's been a nice drive from the Slam. They started at their own 40-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout now from the defensive side. The Chicago Force are going to call for a timeout, and the coaches kind of battling out here a little bit.
Well, it's called adjustments, Andy. And Coach Lewandowski, what happened was the St. Louis offense adjusted on that timeout. Now Coach Lewandowski wants to do an adjustment, which I think is a sign of a good coach. When you don't like something and your defense isn't in the right position to make a play, you make a change. And, you know, it says a lot about Coach Lewandowski. I've heard a lot of great things about him this year. He's a first-year coach for the Force and has made a big difference on our defense.
Spin Nightclub's a huge sponsor of Chicago Force football. Spin Nightclub offers a comfortable and friendly environment for everyone. Located at the corner of Belmont and Halstead here in Chicago, Spin Nightclub. It's going to be third down and goal from the 1. 6:36 to go here in the first quarter. Andy Garcia alongside Pam Schraff-Rath. Nice crowd out here today. If you take a look at on the stream, Amber Burns still on the sideline, kind of getting her head straight there a little bit. Hopefully she can get back in the game. But here we go, 3rd and 1 for the Slam. Coming out of the timeout from the Force. Evers in the shotgun. She has Hay to her right. 3 receivers to the left. Evers waiting for the snap, gets it. Moves to her right, and she's going to get in for the touchdown from 1 yard out. Touchdown for the St. Louis Slam. 6:33 to go in the first. It's 7-6. Force with the PAT still to come.
That looked like, Andy, that was a great call on the for the St. Louis Slam. It looked like Evers was doing a little option play there. If she wasn't going to take it, she was going to pitch it out to Taylor Hay there. So I don't know if the Force was ready for that, but a good play call for the St. Louis Slam and a big score for them.
That is Evers' 9th rushing touchdown of the season. Is Taylor Hay now tries to get the PAT. She's 18 of 18 for the PAT, make it 19 of 19. The kick is up and good. We have 6:33 to go in the first quarter. We have a tied ball game, 7-7 between the Chicago Force and the St. Louis Slam.
I got to tell you, it says a lot about St. Louis Slam to answer back after that big march down the field by the Force. We got a game here, Andy. We got a really good game going.
They got good field position. They started at the 40-yard line after the kickoff, and a huge 4th down and 2 play where Evers was able to get to the outside. A huge block that took Amber Burns out, and then they get down to the 1, and Evers takes it in right up the gut. 6:33 to go first quarter. Close score.
I think coming into the rest of this game, the Force defense has to watch when they're Kate Evers has the long side of the field. You got to watch for her going that way because she's going to try and take advantage of that with the speed on the outside. Coach Lewandowski might want to make an adjustment on the outside with someone with speed outside there to make the play on her.
Back deep for the Chicago Force. Head coach John Konecki trying to see what he can do, see if they can slow down that slam a little bit, but also on the offensive side, he wants to make sure that the Force keep putting points up on the board.
Well, Coach Konecki has a lot of playbooks under his sleeve. He has a lot of players to work with. He has a lot of set formations he works with. You never know what's going to come out of the Force offense because they're so talented. So I have a feeling here you see Coach Konecki come back with a strong here.
Hey, with a little bit of onside kick bounces, still rolling around at the 35-yard line, and Elby Zuby is just going to down it there.
That's
Nice little bounce kick off from Taylor Hay. It bounced towards the Force, and Zuby just kind of downed it right there at the 35, so that's where the Force will have their second offensive drive.
I think what they wanted to do there, Taylor Hay didn't want it to go that far. Maybe a little shorter, 10 yards, and with their speed, maybe get possession on that play. But Elby Zuby did a good job of just laying on it and making sure she doesn't create a turnover.
So let's see if the Force can come back and put points on the board after St. Louis just put a touchdown. It's 7-7, 6:31 to go in the first quarter, and we're going to get another timeout from the Chicago Force. Head coach John Konecki is going to talk things over. That's the second timeout for the Force here in the first quarter. He's bringing the team over back to the sideline or right in the middle of the field, trying to talk things over.
Now Coach Konecki didn't like what he sees, so that's 3 quick timeouts, and that happens in a game like this.
I was just going to say, it's this type of game where we know it's going to be close, high scoring at some points, and maybe every snap is pretty important.
A lot of strategy in this game with the offense, and it's going to be key to see which play calls work and make adjustments throughout the whole game because both defenses are going to make adjustments too.
Both of these teams have had success, not just in the regular seasons, but in the postseason. We talk about the St. Louis Slam. This team won the championship not too long ago.
Yeah, this team won the WFA championship in, I believe, 2009. So you got some players on this team that were national champions, so they know how to win.
And we know Chicago Force always run deep into the playoffs, including last season.
Oh, yeah, Chicago Force is always one of the top 5 teams, and I'm a little biased there, but we're easily one of the top teams in the league every year.
All right, here we go, out of the timeout. First down and 10 for the Force at their own 35-yard line. Jeanette Gray in motion, gets a snap. It's a little jet sweep. Gray to the 35, trying to get to the outside. Should be taken out of bounds there. Nice play from the defense there from number 86. That's Gail Graff. Nice play. A gain of 2 on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 8 for the Force.
Yeah, what Gail Graff did on that play, it looked like started out as a counter, and then Jay Gray came across, and what Gail Graff did on that play, it's called staying honest. She held her ground at cornerback on that side and just made the tackle.
They're going to give her 3 at second down and 7 for the Force. Grisafi in the shotgun, hands it off to Hatcher. Right up the middle to the 40, still on her feet to the 43-yard line. Close to the first down. It's going to bring up third down and 2 for the Force. 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We're tied up 7-7.
And you know, Andy, Coach Konecki's going to go with that running play up the middle, that little counter running play until the St. Louis Slam stops it. And I think that's smart. And he's going to keep going with it till they can stop it.
Check that, third down and 2. Serta in motion. Fakes the handoff, now handoff to Melissa Smith. Right up the middle, breaks one tackle to 45. First down at the 48-yard line, make it the 49. Nice run from Melissa Smith, gives the Force a first down at the 49-yard line. 5.5 to go here in the first quarter.
You know, you see Melissa Smith running like that, Andy, and, you know, Melissa Smith, great teammate, good friend of mine. She's just one of those players that keeps her legs moving, and it's tough to tackle.
The Force going to play that fast-paced offense. Grisafi in the shotgun. Fakes a handoff to Smith. Now looking to throw, and she's going to throw it away. Nice, smart play from Sammy Grisafi. Nothing there, so she threw it to the near side just to get rid of it. It's going to bring up second down and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
I was talking about pressure there. Pressure is going to be key on Sammy on a pass play, and Sammy knew she was in trouble, had nowhere to go, and like you said, very, very smart play by Sammy. She didn't have a receiver to go to on that.
Second down and 10 for the Force. 3 receivers to the left. Szerzinski in motion. She's going to come to the near side. So 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Melissa Smith to the right of Grisafi in the shotgun. Gets a snap. Hand off to Smith. Up the middle to the 50, 45, 40. Chips up 1 to the 30. She's going all the way 20. 15-10. 5, tripped up at the 5-yard line, almost all the way. Looked like she might have it there, but she was tripped up down to the 4-yard line. A nice run from Melissa Smith. It's going to bring up first down and goal for the Chicago Force.
I mean, if you notice, Sammy did a really good job of fake pass play on that after handing the ball off to Melissa Smith there. It looked like the defensive backs of the Slam were caught in there, caught for a second, which made Melissa Smith be able to get up the field.
Grisafi, quick snap to Melissa Smith. Down at the 1. She might just be short. She is. Grisafi with a quick handoff to Smith. Down inside the 1-yard line. That was a 42-yard run from Melissa Smith on that last play. It's going to bring up second down and goal at the 4. So they're going to go right up to the line. Try to get this quickly.
Andy, this is that red zone offense that they use too.
Man in motion, handoff to Smith. Right up the middle for the touchdown from 1 yard out.
Untouched.
Melissa Smith, her second of the game, and that's her 9th of the season. It gives the Force a 13-7 lead with 4:34 to go here in the first quarter.
I'll put my money on it, Andy. If the Force gets into the red zone against any team, they're going to be really tough to stop because that red zone offense that they have is really, really a tough offense. And it's a goal line set, and they've got a lot of size on that set. Really tough to get around that goal line or that offensive line.
Melissa Smith with 2 1-yard touchdown runs so far. Tricia Charbonneau in for the PAT. The snap, and they're going to have to throw it. They're going for the 2-pointer too high. Zuby's going to throw it to the right side, and it's going to be incomplete. The snap was a little bit high. Zuby couldn't get it down, so she had to try to throw it into the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. So that's going to be a Force 13-7 lead. Force up by 6. We've seen some scoring here in the first quarter here. 2 teams, as we said. The Slam, 6th overall offense. The Force, 7th overall. So we're going to see a lot of points. We'll see who maybe has the last ball. It may come down to that today.
Yeah, we said at the beginning of the game, both high potent offenses going to come down to which defense can stop who. And, you saw the Force go for that 2-point conversion. The Force has been pretty successful at that 2-point conversion. But if you also noticed, the St. Louis Slam had a lot of pressure on that 2-point conversion. They're doing a good job of pressuring our quarterbacks.
13-7 Force. Melissa Smith with 2 touchdowns. We've seen the St. Louis Slam quarterback Kate Evers get into the end zone. We've seen her speed. We're going to see a lot of scoring today. St. Louis, their offense averages 44 points per game. The Force averaging 47 points per game.
Andy, I'd also like to see defenses create some turnovers. That might be the difference in today's game, too.
Kate Evers and Taylor Hay back deep for the Slam. Charbonneau gets her foot into it. It's going to bounce at the 30-yard line. Take a Force bounce, and we're going to see who has it. It took a weird bounce.
It did.
The Force might have it. The Slam say they've got it. The officials are going to come in, and the Slam have it. Looks like Taylor Hay got in there. Maybe number 44, Amy Lopez, got her hands on it. So it will be St. Louis ball at their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Candace Griffin. I was surprised. It must have touched a St. Louis Slam player because I was surprised that they were really trying to put a hand on it. It must have touched one of their players.
Well, remember, after 10 yards, it's a free ball.
Yeah.
So that's you have to get on there. Yeah. So it's going to be the Slam ball.
So
St. Louis Slam.
And Candace Griffin did a good job of getting up the field then and trying to get that ball.
Evers in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Receiver in motion. Evers gets a snap. Fakes the handoff. Now a pitch to Hay.
There's that
at
option.
the 30. Tries to cut it inside. Should be taken down at the 37-yard line. Nice play from guess who? Kim Marks coming from the other side of the ball to take the tackle. And it's going to be second down and 8 for the Slam.
That was a textbook play. They ran a little option there where Kate Evers has a choice of running with the ball or doing the pitch. She made a good job of pitching the ball because someone had her, and that was a textbook play by Kim Marks with that contain.
4 minutes exactly to go in the first quarter. Chicago Force up 13-7 over the St. Louis Slam. The Slam have the ball at their own 37-yard line. It's second down and 8. Evers in shotgun. Running back to her right, fakes a handoff. Now Evers to the right. Tried to get to the outside, and I cut in at the numbers. And it'll be about a 4-yard gain for Evers. It'll bring up third down. We'll call it 3.
That was a real good fake handoff. I mean, even watching it from up here was really tough to read for the Force defense. And, picking up 4 yards at a time, that's not a bad call for the St. Louis Slam there.
So it's third down and 3. Ball at the Slam, 42-yard line. Evers in shotgun. Waits for the snap. Hay is to her left. 2 receivers to the right on the far side, 2 to the left, near side. Slam moving right to left. Evers with the shotgun, looking to throw on the right side. Havers the receiver, and it's caught. She'll be taken down at the 32-yard line, but a nice throwing catch for the slam. And the catch is completed to number 89. Check that. Who is that? Who made the catch for the slam? It was a nice catch. It was number 99, Robin Murrow, with the catch. Nice throw from Kate Evers.
And it looked like Dorian Bridges of the Force was on coverage on that play. But Robin Morrow's a 10-year vet for the St. Louis Slam.
So the Slam have first down and 10 at the Force 32-yard line. Evers in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, now has to move to her left. She's under pressure, and Darcy Leslie's going to take her down for the sack. A big loss for the Slam, and Darcy Leslie has another sack. That's her second of the season. It's second down and long for the Slam.
I got to say, Andy, if you want anyone on Kate Evers, and if anyone is going to catch Kate Evers, I mean, the Force has a lot of players that can, but if anyone's going to catch her, it's Darcy Leslie. You could see the speed that she had on that play coming around the end.
The ball will be marked at the 38-yard line, a 6-yard loss on first down. It'll bring up second down and 16 for the Slam. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Big play by the Force.
Andy Garcia alongside Pam Schaffrath. The Force up 13-7. Evers in the shotgun. She has Hay to her left. Hand off to Hay. Up the middle. She'll be taken down, straight down by 2 players, by Minja, number 35, Veronica Hernandez. And who else got in there? It looked like Sammy Skritter might have gotten in there as well, but nice tackle from Minja. Brings up third down and long.
You know, Minja, Veronica Hernandez, is another one of those players that played with the boys when she was younger. She actually played high school football with the boys. So she knows how to hit, and she's definitely one of those defensive players that isn't afraid to get really physical, and Sammy Skritter.
Ball is marked at the Force 37-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and 15. Evers back in shotgun. Gets a snap. Hand off to Hay. She's going to be taken down in the backfield again by Minja. Hernandez, nice tackle. It's going to bring up 4th down and long. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. The Force up 13-7.
I got to say, Andy, I love that call by Lewandowski. A great adjustment. You know, Veronica Hernandez, who had made that play, she's really fast, and she made that on a blitz call, and she just shot that gap and was able to make the tackle in the backfield. That's a great call by Coach Lewandowski. Nice play. Again, from the Chicago Force defense. I think you're going to see a lot more blitzes, Andy, in the rest of this game by the Chicago Force. 4th and 19. The ball's at the Force 41-yard line. The Slam have to get to the 22-yard line for a first down. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Evers in shotgun. Hay to her right. Waiting for the snap on 4th down. And we're going to have a stoppage of play. It's going to be a delay of game on the Slam. It'll move them back 5 yards to 4th down and 24. 5-yard penalty on the delay of game. Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of penalties today yet. But I bet they're trying to just make the right play here for the big yardage to get the first down. This would be a big stop for the Chicago Force defense after your offense came down and scored, and the Slam were able to go down and get the touchdown for your defense to come back and make a stop here. It's 4th down. Let's see what they can do. Huge stop, because you don't want to be exchanging touchdowns. Again, ball at the 46-yard line. Evers is going to punt it away. It's going to take a bounce at the 34-yard line, take a Slam bounce, and I'll take a Force bounce. And it'll be down at the 34-yard line of the Chicago Force for a nice defensive stop from the Chicago Force. And we'll start the second quarter with the Force in offense. We'll take the break. The Chicago Force are up 13-7 on the St. Louis Slam. The second quarter action is coming up as you listen to Chicago Force Football on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB.
WJOB Hammond.
Hey, it's Michael D. Stewart. Been here for 8.5 years at WJOB and WJOB1230.com. It's been a while, but we finally got our video stuff up and running. We're excited about it. All the great opportunities available right here on WJOB1230.com. It's coming to fruition. Absolutely. And let's drink to that, my friends, as WJOB moves into the 21st, 22nd. We're ready for the 24th century right here at WJOB 1230. Once again, Michael D. Stewart, the Stu Man, Program Operations Manager. I just call myself Support Technical Entertainment Worker, Stu, for lunch. There you go, buddy. WJOB. Cheers.
Spin Nightclub is a sponsor of our Game Day MVP Award. At the end of each home game, we select an offensive and defensive player of the game. Spin Nightclub offers a comfortable and friendly environment for everyone, located at the corner of Belmont and Halsted. MOR is proud to be the team physician to the Chicago Bulls, Blackhawks, and your Chicago Force. That's Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, www.rushortho.com.
Welcome back. Chicago Force start with the ball. Grisafi throws it to the right side, caught for a short gain. Straczynski still on her feet. Gain of 5 on the play. Grisafi moved to her right. Nice catch from Stroh. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Chicago Force. Just starting the second quarter, the Chicago Force with the 13-7 lead over the St. Louis Slam. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Grisafi in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, to the right. Hand off to Smith, up the middle, to the 40, to the 45, taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Force. Nice run from Melissa Smith.
See, I like, Andy, how Coach K's mixing up. He goes with the stop-and-go pattern with Straczynski, with Sammy passing the ball. Then you go with the run up the middle. If you mix it up like this, they're going to keep marching down the field because it's going to open up the offense.
First down and 10. Ball at the 46-yard line. Grisafi in the shotgun. With the snap, fakes the handoff. Now tried to get the slant. It was deflected. Nice play from number 17, Brittany Artis. Got her hand up, deflected the ball to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Force.
Brittany Artis is 5'8", 225. I mean, that's a big girl at DN right there.
She made a nice play getting her hand up.
She looks like she's listed as a tight end, but she did a real good job of getting her hand up there. She looks like she's got really long arms. Big play by that DN.
We've played a minute in the second quarter. Andy Garcia alongside Pam Shafrath. Chicago Force football. They're up 13-7 over St. Louis. Albie Zuby is going to come in, be the quarterback. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Zuby in the shotgun on 2nd down and 10. Man in motion, Serta, fake the handoff to Zuby. At the 50, down to the 45-yard line. Should be close to the first down, but we got a penalty on the play. And I believe this one may be coming back on the Force. It'll be close to a first down if the play stands, but I think this one's going to be on Chicago.
You know, Andy, when you got a player like Brandy Serta.
Man in motion.
Oh, okay.
Illegal motion on Chicago.
It's going to
come back.
Yeah, when you got to play, I mean, it was a good call. It was legal man in motion, but when you've got a person in motion for the defense, you always got to watch that player in motion. And with the quarterback like that doing a quick, fake handoff to that person in motion, it stops the defense. And it tricked the defense that time, but unfortunately there was a penalty.
The ball will be put down between the 40 and the 41 of the Force. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 15. Grisafi back in, quarterback for the Force, fakes a handoff, looking to throw the slant. She does it. Jeanette Gray caught at the 48-yard line. Nice gain on 2nd down. It'll be a manageable 3rd down. It'll be 3rd down and 7, just at the 49-yard line of the Force. It'll be a 3rd down and, as I said, 7. Nice throw from Grisafi to Jeanette Gray.
Jeanette Gray's a really big target. I said this last game for Sammy Grisafi. Good hands, good athlete. She's really tough to cover on that slant.
Make it 3rd down and 8. Grisafi in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. No, she'll give it off to Smith. She's going to be taken down. She may gain 1 yard. Nice play from the St. Louis Slam defense.
54.
Kelly Coslin in on the tackle. Coslin had 14 tackles. Has had 14 tackles this season. One of those good linebackers on the St. Louis Slam. It's going to bring up 4th down, and we'll call it 7.
Now, Kelly Coslin is someone you need to block on the St. Louis Slam defense. If you don't block her, she's going to get in on that play. That was the first time that they didn't block her.
Grisafi in the shotgun, going to be taken down on a sack. St. Louis is going to have good field position after a sack from number 16, Alana Fields. Nice play from Fields. That's her 3rd sack of the season, and St. Louis is going to have great field position.
I said earlier, if they can get pressure on Sammy Grisafi, it's going to be a big blow to this Force offense. She's also another big player for the St. Louis Slam. Good size, 5'8", 215, with some speed. So we got to put our hands on those defensive ends of the St. Louis Slam if we want to start passing the ball.
St. Louis Slam with a big play on defense. Get the sack from Alana Fields, and now they're going to take over at the Force 38-yard line. 1st down and 10. Here comes that highly explosive offense. Kate Evers back in shotgun. Hay to her left. Hand off to Hay, and she's going to be taken down for a loss. A bunch of Force players in there. Nice play from the Force defense. It's going to be 4th down, or check that, 2nd down and 12 for the St. Louis Slam. 12 and a half to go second quarter. The Force up 13-7.
I like to see that. A lot of black jerseys, Andy, around the football, and I credit that play to the defensive line of the Force. They were able to get in that backfield and get a good push for that first play in this set of downs.
Ball marked at the Force 40-yard line. Second down and 13. Evers in the shotgun, Hay to her right. Two receivers on the near side, one to the far side. Evers with the snap, handoff, no, faked it. Evers up the gut, takes it herself to the 35-yard line. Nice fake, that run zone, that zone read is perfect. You hide that handoff, Evers able to hide it and take it to the 35-yard line. It's gonna bring up 3rd down and 7 at the 35.
I know as a defensive player that play is really tough to stop. And when you got someone, you know, if you look at Evers and Taylor Hay, they're kind of short. And if you're back there behind the line of scrimmage, it's tough to see. But someone's got to key on Evers and have her for every play.
3rd down and 7 at the Force 35-yard line. Evers going to fake the handoff again at the 30. Makes a cut to the 25, another cut at the 25. To the outside, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown for Kate Evers and the St. Louis Slam from 35 yards out. That ties the ball game up at 13 apiece. A 35-yard touchdown run from Kate Evers. Nice run from the quarterback of the Slam. That's her 10th touchdown rushing of the season.
We were just talking about that fake handoff, and I got to tell you what Kate Evers does is she reads the defense as she's handing off the ball. If she reads something different, she hands off the ball to her running back, Taylor Hay. If she reads it to where she could take it, and she read it to where she could take it, and she's really shifty and really hard to beat.
The PAT is up and good from Taylor Hay. That gives the St. Louis Slam a 14-13 lead. We have 11:15 to go here in the second quarter.
And, you know, with their kicker, Taylor Hay, got a good foot on her. She's perfect on extra points this year,
20
Andy.
of 20.
Yep, she's perfect. And every time you score a touchdown, you can for sure know St. Louis Slam, they're going to get at least 1 point. That was a big touchdown for the St. Louis Slam.
Started on the defensive side.
Sure did.
Nice sack from Alana Fields, taking down Grisafi. And then drive for the St. Louis Slam to tie it up and then take the lead. A 35-yard touchdown run from Kate Evers.
This has definitely been a battle today of, potent offenses, Andy, and some big key stops on defense.
This reminds me a lot of the game last year where the Force did get the win, but it was hard hitting. Very tough game, and it looks like it's going to come down to the fourth quarter.
I believe last year's game was the hardest hitting game of the season against the Slam, and, you know, that's the best part about football is hard hitting. So
you got to remember, this Force football team, their defense hasn't given up a point in the last 2 games. They had outscored the opponents 119-0. 2 last wins here for the Force against Columbus. It was 47-0. Against Indy last week, it was 72-0. So we knew the St. Louis Slam offense was very good. It was going to be tougher today.
And the Slam's defense only gave up points to the Kansas City Tribe, which is a big.
Taylor Hay kicked it, and it hit Carolyn Lee, one of the front men, and Lee was able to grab it. That was a great play from Carolyn Lee because that ball was coming fast. Nice kick from Taylor Hay. It nailed Carolyn Lee. She was able to grab it and take it down. Good field position for the Force at the Slam 45-yard line.
Yeah, it was a really low kick,
and
it was a hard kick. Obviously, she's got a good foot, but Carolyn Lee, who's a smart ball player, veteran, was able to catch the ball, and she's a wide receiver running back, so she's got good hands. We got great field position, Andy.
So the Force find themselves down. It's a long time in any game that the Force have had to take a look at being down in the game. The Force are down by 1. It's 14-13 St. Louis. The Force take over at the Slam 45-yard line. Grisafi in the shotgun. Hand off to Hatcher. Up the middle of the 45, tripped up. She'll be taken down at the 42-yard line. She was tripped up by one of the linemen.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice gain if Brandy was able to stay on her feet. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 7.
It would have been. As a defensive lineman, Andy, you're taught to, get your hands in there somewhere with that running back and trip them up, and she did that exactly.
2nd down and 7, ball at the 42-yard line of the Slam. Grisafi in the shotgun. Hatcher to her right. Fakes the little snap or screen and now moves to the near side. Tried to get the screen to Jeanette Gray. Incomplete. It was a forward pass. It's going to be incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Looked like that play was designed to go either way. It looked like the far side of the field, it was a little more open, but for some reason the coverage, they read that play. The coverage was great on the right side for the St. Louis Slam, and they were able to break up that play.
Yeah, Grisafi looked to her right, was going to throw it to Hatcher outside in the backfield, and then threw the screen to Jeanette Gray, not able to connect. So it's going to be 2nd down. We'll check that 3rd down and 7. The officials talking something over. Officials holding up play just for a second.
Yeah, it looks like
We have 10:41 to go, second quarter. St. Louis Slam 14, the Chicago Force 13.
they're figuring out something with the markers.
This is semi-pro women's tackle football, the Chicago Force in their 10th year of playing. Down by 1 to the St. Louis Slam, 14-13.
You know, think about 10th year for the Chicago Force and 10th year for the St. Louis Slam. Think about how much it takes to keep an organization running for 10 years. It takes a lot of time.
Third down and 7, ball at the 42-yard line. Versafi in the shotgun. Low snap, picks it up, moves to her right, looking to throw, and she'll get it. Complete to Strozinski on the far side, taken out of bounds at the 33-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down for the Force. First down and 10.
Nice.
Force moving their way down. The Slam up 14-13.
That was a beautiful short out kind of route by Strozinski, who's a key, is a veteran player from Detroit from years ago. Big addition to our team, and nice pass by Sammy Grassafi.
First down and 10 for the Force. At the Slam 33-yard line. Grassafi, shotgun, throws it out to Hatcher. On the screen at the 35, cuts into the 30. Breaks 2 tackles, and then she's taken down at the 25-yard line. It's going to bring up second down and short for the Force. Nice throw from Sammy Grassafi from the backfield to Brandy Hatcher.
I want to credit that play to Sammy Grassafi because it takes a nice, easy touch to make that play, to make that pass. And Brandy Hatcher is a similar runner to Kate Evers there. She's very elusive. Good play by the Force.
Second down, we'll call it 2. Grassafi in the shotgun. Hand off to Smith. Up the middle at the 30. Pushing tacklers down to the 20-yard line, enough for the first down. She took a tackler about 4 yards down the middle of the field.
And the tackler with number 74 is a big defensive lineman for the St. Louis Slam. So it just goes to show you how much power Melissa Smith really does have. But I got to tell you, they're definitely keying more on Melissa Smith in this second quarter on these handoffs to her.
Enough for the first down. It'll be first down and 10 for the Force at the Slam 20-yard line. Grassafi back in the shotgun. She has Smith to her right. Now she's going to move her to her left. Receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Grassafi with the signals, waiting for the snap on first down and 10. Grassafi fakes the handoff, now moves to her right, throws to Strozinski. Can't make the catch. A nice little in route at about the 11-yard line. Strozinski cannot make the play, incomplete. It'll bring up second down and 10. 9:05 to go in the second quarter. The Force down by 1. It's 14-13 St. Louis.
Good call by Coach Konecki there. Fake handoff to Melissa Smith since the defense is keying on Smith. And nice pass by Sammy Grassafi there. It looked like it was tipped or deflected just at the right time as she was going to catch the ball there. But that's a great play call by Konecki.
Second down and 10, ball at the Slam 20. Zuby now the quarterback, fakes a handoff, goes right up the gut to the 20, 15 at the 10, still on her feet at the 5. She's going to go down to the goal line, and she's going to be taken down right at the 1-yard line. Elby Zuby with a nice run. 19-yard run from Zuby. It's going to be first down and goal for the Force at the Slam 1-yard line.
There's that red zone package, Andy. There's that red zone package that Coach Konecki puts in there when we're in the red zone, and that line it looks like opening the Red Sea. And that's exactly what they did for Albiona Zuby. She was able to take it up the middle for the score.
We could have another 1-yard run from Melissa Smith, and we will. Touchdown.
Yes.
No one's going to stop Melissa Smith at the 1-yard line. That's her 3rd rushing touchdown of the game, her 10th of the season, and it gives the Force the lead back. It's now 19-14 Chicago Force.
I'm very happy, Andy, because it's not like we're trading scores here because there's some very good defensive stops, but I'm happy that the Force comes back with this drive with good field position and says to the St. Louis Slam, hey, you scored on us, and we're going to score right back at you.
Melissa Smith has scored from 21 yards out, from 1 yard out, and now another 1-yard touchdown round. The Force are going to go for 2. Grassafi in the shotgun. Tries to throw it up to Jeanette Gray. She will.
Yep.
The 2-point conversion is good. That's now Jeanette Gray's 4th 2-point conversion of the season, and now gives the Force a 21-14 lead with 8:32 to go here in the second quarter.
That plays money with Jeanette Gray. They actually have that play down, and I think St. Louis Slam's knowing.
There's going to be a penalty.
Oh, okay. Let's see what happens here.
Take it back. Legal motion on the Force, so they'll have to redo the PAT, or if they go for the 2-point conversion. That was a nice play, though, Grassafi to Jeanette Gray. It would have been the 4th 2-point conversion for them this season, but no way Jose on Cinco de Mayo.
Not on Cinco de Mayo, which is, by the way, a great holiday, Eddie.
It is. But so the Force are going to try the PAT again. We have 8:32 to go. Second quarter, the Force up 19-14. Now we'll go for 2. at the 7-yard line. Grisafi with 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. She's lone back there in the shotgun, looking to throw on the left side. Has a receiver, and it's incomplete. Denekre had it on the slant, couldn't keep it. Incomplete. So the PAT no good on the 2-point conversion. So the Force will have the 19-14 lead, a 5-point lead for the Force. 8.5 to go here in second quarter.
Yeah, it was just a slant play actually from the other end that they usually run on that play, and it was thrown a little bit behind Jeanette Gray. She wasn't able to make the catch, but hey, good score by the Force, coming right back after that big touchdown by the St. Louis Slam.
We hope you're enjoying the action on ChicagoForceFootball.com and also on AM 1230 WJOB. Andy Garcia alongside Pam Schaffrath. A good game so far. The 3-0 Chicago Force taking on the 2-1 St. Louis Slam. So far so good. The Force up 19-14, but we've seen both teams at their best running the football.
We have.
With Kate Evers running for the St. Louis Slam and also Melissa Smith for the Chicago Force.
We knew coming into this game that both teams were big offenses and big running games, and that's exactly what we've seen today. We've seen a few passes here and there. We got a few tricks up their sleeves on both sides, but they're staying true to their bread and butter on both sides with their running games. And like I said, it's going to come down to who's left standing at the end with the defense.
Melissa Smith with 3 rushing touchdowns so far. Kate Evers for the St. Louis Slam with 2. The Force will kick it away. Sharvey will put her foot to the ball. It'll bounce at 35, picked up by the Slam. Evers at the 35 is going to try to get to the outside. To the 40, to the 45, inside Force territory, and she'll be pushed out of bounds. They will say she went out of bounds. Let's see where they will mark it. It'll be inside Force territory at the 49-yard line.
What the Force has to do is contain Evers. You can't let her get one step to the outside of you. You can't. She's fast and she's elusive, and you've got to keep her inside the field. So you got to have some sort of contain to keep her inside the markers, inside the numbers, and that's the only way you're going to stop Evers.
St. Louis Slam will have the ball inside the Force 49-yard line. 2 great offenses going at it. Slam will have 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Evers in shotgun has Hay to her right. Evers gets a snap, moves to her right. On the near side, makes the cut inside at the 45 and should be taken down by 2 Force players there. Nice tackle from Minja, also from Darcy Leslie. Yep. Nice run on first down, though. It'll be second down and 6.
I got to say, Andy, I love seeing Darcy Leslie and Minja making hits like that, because when I used to play with them, I love playing with them because they're big hitters. They love contact, and to see them make players like that. And that's what you want to do with Kate Evers, make her cut up the field and let your middle linebackers do the play. But she's so fast that even though she cut up the field, she was able to gain 5 yards. So they've got to do a better job of keeping her in the backfield for longer amounts of time.
They're going to call it second down and 6, ball at the Force 45-yard line. Evers back in the shotgun. She has Hay to her right. Waits for the snap. Gets it, hand off to Hay. Right up the middle, tries to go to the outside, and Darcy Leslie's going to take her down. She's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up third down and 6. But Darcy Leslie with another nice tackle for the Force.
Big stop by Darcy Leslie. She read that play. That was that zone coverage there. Like, she read that play perfectly, and you got to make those plays in the backfield on this St. Louis Slam running game.
Third and 6 for St. Louis. Just over 7 minutes to go, second quarter. Chicago Force football, the Force up by 5, 19-14. We've had some big-time scoring so far.
We have. This is a big stop for the Chicago Force defense.
Slam at the Force 45-yard line. Evers, shotgun, formation. 2 receivers to the right. Evers looking to throw. 3-step drop. Throwing it deep on the left side. It's going to be too far for the intended receiver. The receiver is number 86, Gail Graff. It's going to bring up fourth down and 6. Nice defense there from Pebbles, Emma Feinstein.
Telling you, Emma Feinstein, one of those players, she's not the biggest player, but she's the mightiest, and she's going to get good coverage on you every time and get a hand in there. That was great coverage. If that pass was thrown a little under and the coverage wasn't there, that would have been a touchdown. So that's a great play by Emma Feinstein. I really love watching her play. She's a little firecracker out there.
If you're looking at the stream, you'll see that defensive line in Chicago Force. We get ready for fourth down and 6. See if they can get some pressure in there.
Yeah.
Also, want to thank all the listeners on AM 1230 WJOB for listening today, too. Chicago Force football. Slam getting the call from the coaches on the far sideline. It's going to bring up 4th down and 6. You said this is a big 4th down play.
Last play was a big stop too, but since they're going to go for it, the Slam has some tricks up their sleeve in 4th down. If we remember last 4th down play, they made a big gain. So Force defense really has to be ready here. It's a big play to stop them going into the second half.
Timeout, St. Louis Slam. They want to talk it over. One of the sponsors of Chicago Force football, the Hop House in Rogers Park, located at 7545 North Clark at the corner of Howard in the Gateway Plaza. Come out and have a good party at the Hop House. This is where the party is tonight, too, after the game. So if anybody's in the area, the Hop House in Rogers Park is the post-game party for this Alumni Day game here for the Chicago Force.
Yep, we'll all get together after the game and share memories and have a great time. But the Hop House is a great place to have a burger in the city of Chicago. Great restaurant. They must have 25 different burgers. Great sports atmosphere, Andy. Really good sponsor for the Chicago Force.
Both these offenses can put points on the board. Chicago, their offense ranked 8th in the WFA, the Women's Football Alliance, with 47 points per game. St. Louis, 9th overall in the league, 44 points per game. See which defense can make some plays. We've seen it already today. Some of the defense make some plays. Also from St. Louis, got a big sack from Alana Fields. They took it into the house for a touchdown.
Well, what I like about it is both sides of the ball are pretty strong on both teams, and you got some big hits going on.
Here we go, 4th down and 6. Ball at the Force 45-yard line. Man in motion coming to the near side. Evers with the handoff, or check that with the shotgun formation, throwing to her right. It's going to be caught by Graff, and it's going to be enough for the first down. She'll be taken down at the 42-yard line. Nice throw on the run from Kate Evers. 1st down and 10 for the St. Louis Slam.
Very nice play, Andy. I like how the St. Louis Slam is mixing it up, too, with some pass plays. You got to keep the defense honest, and to mix it up is really a good idea for the St. Louis Slam to keep the Force's defense on their toes.
So that gives the Slam a 1st down, 6:13 to go. Second quarter, the Force up 19-14. Nice throw on the run from Kate Evers. Catch by Graff. It's 1st down and 10. Evers back in that shotgun. Looks over the defense. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 to the far side. Gives a handoff. The Hay fakes it. Evers is going to keep it to herself at the 30-yard line. Nice run on 1st down. That zone read again. She faked the handoff to Taylor Hay, kept it for herself, up the gut to the 30-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 4.
And I love that zone read by her. She almost makes the correct read every time. The play by Darcy wasn't the best read, but when she makes that correct read, you're at least going to get 4 to 5 yards.
The Slam now bring it up quickly. 2nd down and 4, ball at the Force 30-yard line. Evers, shotgun, with the snap, fakes it again.
There it is.
Keeps it to herself at the 29-yard line.
Great tackle.
Nice tackle from Sammy Skirda. It's going to bring up 3rd down, and we call it 3. With 5:09 to go, second quarter, the Force up by 5, 19-14.
You watch that tackle by number 55, Sammy Skirdo, textbook tackle, Andy. I love how she wraps up, grabs the jersey, and with someone like Kate Evers, because you really got to grab her and pull her down. I love that tackle by Sammy Skirdo. She's really fun to watch.
So Kate Evers gets the call from the St. Louis sideline. 3rd down and 3. Ball at the 29-yard line of the Force. Evers in the shotgun with the snap, fakes the throw, now moves to her right. Breaks away from one tackler. She's got a couple Force players running on her. She's going to throw it too high for the receiver Graff, but that's more of a play just getting rid of it.
Yeah.
It's going to bring up 4th down and 3 for St. Louis. That's where Evers made the smart play and didn't try to make too much out of it. Give yourself another play. It's going to be 4th down.
That's a veteran choice by a really good, smart quarterback of this league. She'd rather take the incomplete pass than the loss, especially 4th and 3 when you want to score going in the half.
Another big 4th down coming here for the Chicago Force defense. 4.5 to go, second quarter. The Force up 19-14. 4th down and 3. The ball is at the Force 29-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see some blitzing here from the outside, but since there's three receivers lined up, I don't know, Andy.
Evers with the shotgun. She will keep it. Goes right up the middle. She'll be close to the 1st down. It might be really close. She was taken down by Kim Marks. And now the officials are going to have to mark it.
Officials have a mark somewhere. Let's see where it is, but I think...
And it's going to be short. It's going to be Chicago Force football.
Big play.
Nice stop from Kim Marks as Evers faked the handoff again, took it right up the middle. She was just stopped short of the 1st down, so the Force will take over. First down and 10.
It looked like her forward momentum was going to take her there, but the Force defense was too strong and was too. They just wanted it more on that play. I think and was able to get the exchange of offense and defense.
Nice
defense to
stop
offense.
from
Great
the Force
stop.
defense. Grisafi now shotgun with the snap. Fakes the screen. Now it's going to throw it deep on the left side to Jeanette Gray. She was open just too far. Jeanette Gray had beaten Gail Graff on the left sideline, and if the throw was there, it would have been a touchdown, just a little too far, incomplete.
Yeah.
Second down and 10 for the Force.
Yeah. Jay Gray is really, not only does she have the size of receiver, but she did a really quick go pattern. And I got to tell you that I'm surprised that wide receiver didn't stop in her tracks because it was a fake screen pass. But they did a good job on that.
Second down and 10. Grisafi, hand off to Hatcher, up the middle at the 30. Pushes her way to the 33-yard line. It's going to bring up third down and 6.
Got some good defensive play going on here, Andy.
Just over 4 minutes to go, second quarter. The Force up 19-14 as the Force will make some substitutions. Hatcher and Struzinski are going to come out. Melissa Smith back in.
If you notice, there's a little shift here, Andy. Like, potent offenses, but there's both these defenses are talking right now, and they want to make stands.
Third and 6 for the Force. Hand off to Smith, up the middle. At the 35, still on her feet at the 40. Breaks more tackles at the 45 and then tripped up at the 47-yard line. A nice run, first down run for Melissa Smith. First down and 10 for the Force. Another great run from Melissa Smith. She's just bowling over tacklers.
You had the best tackler of the St. Louis Slam on Melissa Smith and another defender on that, and she still went over 10 yards on that play. That just goes to show you how powerful she is and a huge addition to the Force offense this year. She needs to stay healthy for us, Andy, this year. She's going to be big for us.
Under 3.5 to play, second quarter. Ball at the Force 47-yard line. Screen, Jeanette Gray at the 45, past midfield at the 50. Taken down at the 46-yard line, make it the 47. It's going to bring up second down and manageable.
If you notice, number 12, Carolyn Lee, had a crackback block for Jeanette Gray on that play, and that was a nice play by Carolyn Lee to make that happen.
Second down and 5. LB Zuby now the quarterback in shotgun. The Force inside slam territory. Second down, Zuby fakes a handoff to Serta. Now right up the middle at the 45 to the 40. Inside the 40 of the St. Louis Slam. Another first down for the Chicago Force, LB Zuby, and we got a late flag. Late flag on the play. It's going to be first down for the Force. And we'll see what this flag's on. It's going to be some type of personal foul, or
yeah, let's see what that is. But that's that same play they're running with Albion Zuby right up the middle, and it
personal foul on the slam. That's going to give the Force 15 more yards. 2.5 to go here in the second quarter. The Force have good field position.
But in St. Louis the St. Louis Slam knows that play's coming at them with Albion Zuby right up the middle at quarterback, and they still keep executing. And this offensive line on that play is fantastic. And you know what? If I was Coach K, I would run it until they could stop it.
Last week, LB Zuby with 12 carries, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. So when you have that 1-2 punch at the quarterback, it's another good weapon you can have.
Yes.
Will be first down and 10 at the Slam 20-yard line. Sammy Grisafi, the quarterback for the Force. In shotgun, Melissa Smith to her left. Grisafi waiting for the snap. First down and 10. She gets it. Little screen to the outside, Carolyn Lee. At the 20, trying to get to the outside. At the 15, she'll be tackled there by about 3 Slam players. Nice 5-yard gain on first down. It's going to bring up second down and 5. Just over 2 minutes to go here, second quarter. The Force try to add to their 19-14 lead.
Really nice screen pass to Carolyn Lee. She's the one that recovered that kickoff. Remember that short kickoff at half?
It's going to be a 2-minute warning.
Okay.
The second quarter. 2-minute warning. 19-14 Chicago Force. So far, so good. It's been a back-and-forth game a little bit, though, Pam. The Force have had the lead for the most part, but the Slam took the lead after a 35-yard touchdown run from Kate Evers. With the PAT good, it was the Slam 14-13, but then the defenses, the Force defense really stepped up and stopped them there in the last fourth down play for the Slam. Now the Chicago Force offense trying to go put points on the board.
It's been back and forth. You know, it's like one offense is strong and then the other offense is strong. And then one defense is strong and then another defense, the other team will be strong. They're definitely back and forth this game. We're definitely having an amazing game. And the Force are hoping to score going into the half here, Andy, with some momentum.
And today, you know, with it being Alumni Day, The Force celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the Force, a huge milestone for the organization and for those who have been a part of it. And we have a lot of those alumni back today. I can't wait to kind of give you some of the names here at halftime, including I got some special info I know about you.
What?
I can't wait for halftime.
Oh, boy.
2 minutes to go.
I wonder what that's about.
Oh, I can't wait. Force up 19-14. It will be force ball at the Slam 15-yard line. Second down and 5. Grisafian shotgun. 3 receivers to the right. Now Serta's in motion. Hand off to Smith. Up the middle at the 15. At the 10. Tackled. Tripped up. Inside the 10-yard line. And it'll be a first down and goal for the Chicago Force.
Yeah, that's a really good tackle by Robin Morrow, I believe, of the St. Louis Slam. And that's a big game by the Force, but that's how you got to tackle Melissa Smith. You got to tackle her low by the ankles. Let's see what the Force does here.
First down and goal at the Slam 9-yard line. Hand off Smith. Up the middle to the 5, to the 1. Touchdown, yes! Chicago Force on a 9-yard touchdown run for Melissa Smith. That's her 4th of the game, the 11th of the season for Melissa Smith. The lead is now 25-14 Force with the PAT to come.
Bread and butter play. You got to go with your bread and butter. Red zone. I got to tell you, the St. Louis Slam has got to keep the Force out of the red zone because they are, it's just a given here. And Melissa Smith with her 4th touchdown, you know, it talks about what's going on, the name of the game here on the offense.
9-yard touchdown run for Melissa Smith. 1:39 to go in the second quarter. Another key note we want to say, too, is the Force will have the ball to start the second half. So if you can get another stop here, when the Slam get the ball back with 1:39 to go, you get the ball first start here in the second half.
I think this score for the Force is a big score for the it sets the tone for the rest of this game.
And now the officials are going to call delay a game on the Force. It took a little bit too long in that huddle, so that's going to move the Force back 5 yards. So they're going to try the PAT from the 7-yard line. 25-14, the Force up by 11, 1:39 to go here, second quarter.
Yeah, this score was really big for the Force to put them up, 2 scores.
Yep.
You have to do 2 scores into the second half, and it's a big momentum shift here.
So it's going to be that bunch formation at the 7-yard line. Grisafi under center, man in motion, handoff Smith. Up the middle at the 5, and she's going to be pushed back. Not taken down, though. She still drives to the end zone, and she got in. Touchdown. Touchdown, well, PAT. 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Don't want to say touchdown.
Yeah, well, she scored 4. She scored 4, so it's hard to tell if it's a touchdown or PAT, but definitely PAT.
PAT good for Melissa Smith. It's now 27-14.
She keeps those legs moving, doesn't she?
Oh, and they go too high on her. We know how Melissa Smith, you can't go too high.
You got to go for ankles.
It's tough, though. Yeah. They tried to trip her up, and they couldn't. 27-14, the PAT, 2-point conversion good for the Force, up by 13.
And you got to get her ankles at the correct time, or else you're going to get a knee in your face because those knees are so high. But, big running back, big score for the Force here going in the second half.
Now, I can see to the right of me, Pam Shaffer,
what?
31.
What?
That a lot of the alumni are getting ready. Whenever you need to go down there.
Okay.
Because all your former teammates are down there.
Well, all
your friends are down there.
All I know is I can't wait to see all of them. It's going to be fantastic to talk about memories and just be around them again. And, you don't get the camaraderie in any sport like you do in football.
But it's great that you're able to stay part of the team with doing the broadcast, too.
Yeah.
I know you're really excited about doing that as Sharby puts their foot to the ball. The Slam will pick it up at the 31-yard line. Hey, moves to the outside to the 40, to the 45, down at the 47-yard line. Nice run from Taylor Hay. St. Louis will have pretty good field position. They have 1:33 to go, second quarter.
Hey, Andy, I don't think this St. Louis Slam offense is going to lay down here. I think they're going to want to maybe score, or even, remember, they've got a good kicker. They might want to get good field position to get some points on the board here, even if it's a field goal.
Taylor Hay, not just their running back who has, 3 rushing touchdowns for the year. She's the field goal kicker. She's 2 of 3 from field goals. Her longest is 32 yards, and she's now, 19 or 20 of 20 from PATs now. So it will be Slam ball at their own 48. Slam down by 13, 27-14. Evers in the shotgun, moves to her right at the 50, and a fumble. Ball's on the ground. It looks like the Slammer are going to be able to pick it up. Taylor Hay came back to the ball. Nice snap, and Evers is getting up slow.
She sure is.
Evers is coming up a little bit gingerly. It's going to bring up second down and 10. The ball was pushed back to the line of scrimmage on the fumble.
And
The clock is still running at 1:10 to go.
Sammy Skirdo and Kim Marks made that play happen. Great pressure, great coverage there, and Kate Evers had nowhere to go.
Evers is checking her shoelace, but I think she's just giving herself some more time, too. The clock is under a minute. 56, 55, and now it's going to be a timeout from the officials. See if Evers is okay. That would be a huge loss for the St. Louis Slam if Kate Evers had to lose any time. I mean, third in the WFA in rushing coming into the game. She took a hit on that fumble.
She did. She did. Marks came in high and Skirdo came in low. It's kind of like a sandwich there, and sometimes those hits you're going to get hit in an awkward way. Maybe she did with her foot there.
56.2 to go in the second quarter. First half here, Chicago Force 27, the St. Louis Slam 14. And for the biggest selection of hot dogs and sausages, go to Hot Doug's in Chicago, 3324 North California Avenue. Doug says there are two finer words. There are no two finer words in the English language than encased meats, my friends. Hot Doug's here in Chicago.
Case meat's pretty tasty. And Hot Dogs is one of the best well-known restaurants for their fries and their hot dogs.
And if you're listening in Hammond with JOB 1230, you can go to Hot Dogs. It's not that far away when you're in the city.
Sometimes there's a line outside the door at Hot
Don't
Dogs.
tell
That's how
people
good
that.
they
They're good. But
No, but I mean the line goes fast, but that's how good they are. It just goes to show you how people just really travel to eat their food.
I think Kate Evers is going to have to come out. She's going to have to come out. We'll see who the new quarterback is for the St. Louis Slam. The Slam lose the third leading rusher in the WFA. She already has 2 running touchdowns today. And the new quarterback is going to be Gail Graff. Gail Graff will be the new quarterback for the Slam. She's seen some snaps this season.
She has. Let's just hope she's sitting out the half just to get a little rest, Gail Evers.
Graff, hand off to Hay. Right up the middle. She'll get to the 50 and then taken down inside Force territory at the 49-yard line. The clock moves under 50 seconds to play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. And a timeout coming. Is it coming from the Chicago Force? It will. Timeout Chicago Force. They may want to see if they can get the ball back.
Yeah. Big tackle by Sammy Skirdo again and Kim Marks.
So it's 3rd down and 8. Ball is at the 49-yard line of the Chicago Force. The Force are up 27-14, 45.8 seconds to go. As Pam Schaffrath is going to go get with her alumni and have some fun with some former teammates. There it is. I was wondering when Pam Schaffrath was going to bring out the number 31 jersey. It's right here. It was in her bag. She's like Superman. She just puts the jersey on. And she's going to go down and be part of the halftime celebration. 45.8 to go. The Force up 27-14. A nice first half from both teams. Force defense has stepped up a couple more times, and Force offense has put some points on the board. Melissa Smith with 4 touchdown runs. 1 from 21 yards out, 2 from 1 yard out, and then a 9-yard touchdown run just with minute 39 to go. So it's 45.8 seconds. The Force will come back out from the Force timeout. 3rd down and 7. Graff in shotgun. Hand off to Hay. Up the middle. She'll get to the 46-yard line, be taken down there. The clock will move under 37 seconds. Clock still moving. 4th down and 3. Make it 4th down and 4. Under 30 seconds to play. See if the Force call a timeout, or will the teams just let the first half run down? Now the clock has stopped. Now it continues. Under 20 seconds to play. Force up by 13, 27-14. And it doesn't look like the Slam are too quickly to make a play, and the coaches are going to call the players over, and this is probably going to be it for the first half. It's Alumni Day here for the Chicago Force. So far, so good. Chicago Force 27, the St. Louis Slam 14. Force got the touchdown from Melissa Smith from 21 yards out to give the Force a 7-0 lead with the PAT good. Then the St. Louis Slam came back, a 1-yard touchdown run from Kate Evers to tie the game 7-7. Another touchdown run from Melissa Smith made it 13-7 Force. Kate Evers with a touchdown made the Slam 14-13. And then 2 Melissa Smith touchdown runs for the Chicago Force, and that gives the Force a 27-14 lead here at the half. Let's take a timeout. give the sponsors some time. We'll come back and give you some stats from the first half. It's the Chicago Force 27, the St. Louis Slam 14 here at the half as you're listening to Chicago Force Football on chicagoforcefootball.com and AM 1230 WJOP.
Athletico. Isn't it about time you came off injured reserve? Schedule a complimentary injury screening at any of our convenient locations and receive personal attention by a licensed medical professional. Complimentary injury screenings are free, easy to schedule, and most importantly, provide you with peace of mind. Call 1-877-ATHLETICO or visit us online at athletico.com to find a location near you. Athletico, the official provider of physical therapy and athletic training to the Chicago Force. Spin Nightclub is a sponsor of our Game Day MVP Award. At the end of each home game, we select an offensive and defensive MOR is proud to be the team physician to the Chicago Bulls, Blackhawks, and your Chicago Force. That's Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. www.rushortho.com.
Welcome back to Lazier Field, Evanston Township High School in Evanston, Illinois. Andy Garcia back here at halftime. The Chicago Force football up on the St. Louis Slam 27-14. Before I go any further here on chicagoforcefootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB, want to give a thank you to all our staff out here today. Stu back in the studios at WJOB. Our cameramen today, Jeff Corey and Rob Cantu. Our director, Chuck Pullen. And our graphics and audio, Ryan Walsh. Thank you, everybody, for your help today as we bring you Chicago Force football. And we hope you enjoy the results so far, 27-14. A nice first half for the Chicago Force. Their offense has put points on the board, and their defense has stepped up against a very tough St. Louis offense, an offense from the Slam that comes in 6th overall with their quarterback, Kate Evers. Not just a good passing quarterback, but a fantastic running quarterback. She is 3rd in rushing overall in the WFA. And a special presentation here at the half as the Chicago Force celebrating Alumni Day. This is their 10th year as a franchise in women's tackle football, and they've got a lot of alumni coming back. And also a very special thing happening here at halftime, which I gave you some details when my partner Pam Shafrath was up here, but today, with, again, the 10th anniversary of the Force, we're establishing a Chicago Force Players Hall of Fame, and this Hall of Fame is to honor the on-field accomplishments of the team's greatest players. The Chicago Force Hall of Fame is inducting 2 former players in today's inaugural induction ceremony, Pam Shafrath and Linda Bechet, the 2 first Force players going into the Hall of Fame. Both players began their career in the team's inaugural 2003 season. Both were considered amongst the best players in all of women's football, and both were perennial team MVPs and league all-stars. They played together for all 6 seasons of their careers. They retired together after the 2008 season, and side-by-side with the linchpins of the most dominating and feared defense in women's football. It's only fitting that they entered the Force Hall of Fame side-by-side today. And the inaugural honorees, number 31, Pam Shafrath, and number 27, Linda Bechet. The original team owner and founder, Lisa Cole, who was out at the 45-yard line of the Force, is now introducing all the alumni of the team, and she'll also do a very special presentation for the Hall of Fame of Pam Shafrath and Linda Bechet. We know Pam Shafrath does a lot in the community, and a partner of mine here in the broadcast booth, and Linda Bechet, the owner and general manager of the Chicago Force, and 2 ladies that have done a lot for women's tackle football, and it's great to see them both come in to the Chicago Force Hall of Fame today. A lot of the alumni back, and you can see them if you're watching on chicagoforcefootball.com, and a lot of the alumni coming back: Jessica Andrasco, Linda Bechet, Angie Banstra, Sally Beaumont, Erica Bell Coleman, Jennifer Benson, Lisa Cole, as I said, Kim Duffy, Luella Geske, Cindy Hafer, Esther Hennigan, Michelle Kenya, Maria Krivich, Lori Kunk, Michelle Mader, Kim Maxwell, Laura Perks, Shelly Pisha, Jen Schultz, Karen Silvestri, Veronica Soper, Danny Spanier, Jessica Springer, Naima Steele, Desiree Taylor, Faith Theodoropoulos, I hope I got that right, Faith Theodoropoulos, Trudy Vaxtel, Mary Valine, Xenia Veras, and Kara Wobble, all alumni back. It's a very special day for the Chicago Force, celebrating their 10th anniversary as a franchise, and 2 players going into the Hall of Fame, Linda Bechet and Pam Schaffrath. As we're at the half, Chicago Force 27, the St. Louis Slam 14. When we come back, I'll give you some stats from the first half. So far, so good for the Force. They're up 27-14 on the Slam. As you're listening to Chicago Force Football on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB.
WJOB Hammond.
Hey, it's Michael D. Stewart. Been here for 8.5 years at WJOB and WJOB1230.com. It's been a while, but we finally got our video stuff up and running. We're excited about it. All the great opportunities available right here on WJOB1230.com. It's coming to fruition. Absolutely. And let's drink to that, my friends, as WJOB moves into the 21st, 22nd. We're ready for the 24th century right here at WJOB 1230. Once again, Michael D. Stewart, the Stu Man, program operations manager. I just call myself support technical entertainment worker, Stu, for lunch. There you go, buddy. WJOB. Cheers.
MOR is proud to be the team physician to the Chicago Bulls, Blackhawks, and your Chicago Force. That's Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. www.rushortho.com. Spin Nightclub is a sponsor of our Game Day MVP Award. At the end of each home game, we select an offensive and defensive Athletico. Isn't it about time you came off injured reserve? Schedule a complimentary injury screening at any of our convenient locations and receive personal attention by a licensed medical professional. Complimentary injury screenings are free, easy to schedule, and most importantly, provide you with peace of mind. Call 1-877-ATHLETICO or visit us online at athletico.com to find a location near you. Athletico, the official provider of physical therapy and athletic training to the Chicago Force.
The Chicago Force, entering its 10th anniversary season, is a proud member of the Women's Football Alliance. The WFA plays under the same full-contact football rules as the NFL. Comprised of 60 teams from across the United States and Mexico, the WFA is the largest women's American football league in the country. From Florida to Oregon and from New England to California, the WFA consists of the best teams in the nation.
Welcome back to Lazier Field. Evanston Township High School. Andy Garcia with you. Pam Schaffrath, my partner, will be back after being inducted into the Chicago Force Hall of Fame. We're at the half. Chicago Force up 27-14. Let me tell you how we got to this point at the half. 10-10 to go in the first quarter. 21-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith of the Force on an 89-yard drive for the Force. Game of 7-0 lead after the PAT was good. St. Louis Slam came back, though, 6:37 to go in the first quarter. A 1-yard touchdown run from Kate Evers. PAT was good. We were tied up at 7. 4:34 to go, first quarter. A 1-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith. Her second of the game, 9th of the season. PAT no good. It was 13-7 Chicago Force. Moving to the second quarter of action. 11:15 to go. In the second quarter, a 35-yard touchdown run from Kate Evers. Her second of the game, her 10th rushing touchdown of the season. The PAT was good. Gave the Slam a 14-13 lead. 8:32 to go. Second quarter, a 1-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith. Her third of the game, her 10th of the season. 2-point conversion, no good. It was Force 19, the St. Louis Slam 14. Then with under 2 minutes to go, second quarter, the Force defense stepped up. Got a stop. Force got the ball back and a 9-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith. Her 4th rushing touchdown of the game, all in the first half. Her 11th of the season. The 2-point conversion was good, and the Force were up 27-14, and that's how we are here at the half. Just about to start the second half of action, but it really has been a fantastic game between two great offenses. St. Louis Slam 6th overall, 3rd in rushing in the WFA, and they've gotten some yards on the ground. Kate Evers has had a good game so far for St. Louis, running that option read, running it to perfection, faking the handoffs, finding holes inside. And Kate Evers, as I said, has already had 2 rushing touchdowns in the game. For the Chicago Force offense, they're 7th overall in the WFA, the Women's Football Alliance. second overall in the Alliance in rushing, and Melissa Smith has had an outstanding game. She hasn't gained a lot of yards. They've needed a first down. She's been able to pick it up, but 4 rushing touchdowns in one half of play. Any place you can get 4 rushing touchdowns, from high school, junior high, NFL, college, anytime a running back can get 4 rushing touchdowns, you know she's having a great game, and it's coming also from her offensive line, who've really found her some holes, and she's able to get that yardage and get the touchdowns, and the Force lead 27-14. Keys in the second half for me is that defense of the Force has to step up, have to contain Kate Evers. Easier said than done, but if they're going to go anywhere, they have to stop Kate Evers. And for the Force offenses, keep doing what you have to do. Keep using those time-consuming drives. Let your offense stay on the field so that St. Louis Slam offense is on the sidelines. See if the Force can move their record to 4-0 overall. St. Louis, the Slam at 2-1, the Force 3-0. St. Louis Slam are in the American Conference, Division 11. They lead. They are tied at the top of their division with the Kansas City Tribe. They're both 2-1. Now remember that one loss for the Kansas City Tribe was to the Chicago Force. For the Force, they're in the National Conference, Division 6. They are 3-0. West Michigan, the Mayhem, are also 3-0, and in the Indy Crash are 1-1. Crash lost to the Force last week, 72-0. The past 2 games for the Chicago Force defense, they had not given up a point. The Force had outscored their opponents in their last 2 games, 119-0. So far, the Slam have put up 14 points, but the Force have put up 27 points of their own. 27-14, the score. Force taking on the St. Louis Slam. Glad you could join us today, again, for Chicago Force Football on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB. Andy Garcia with you. Just about to start the second half is Pam Schaffrath, my broadcast partner, just inducted into the Chicago Force Hall of Fame. Good old number 31. I can't wait to talk to her about that and some of the memories she has. And we also have a fantastic game going here as we're about to start the second half. Let's give me the upcoming schedule for the Chicago Force. It'll be a home game next week. We'll have it here again. Chicago Force will take on West Michigan, a team, as I just told you, 3-0 in the division. It's going to be a tough foe for the Force. They'll take on the Force. The Force and the Mayhem will take on each other next week here in Evanston. At Cleveland after that for the Force, and then they'll take on Indy here at home. That'll be the last regular season home game. As I said, Chicago beat Indy at Indianapolis last week, 72-0, and then the Force finished the regular season at West Michigan. So West Michigan and Indy are the 2 other division opponents for the Force. So far, so good for Chicago, though. They are 3-0 overall, 1-0 in the division. It will be Chicago Force ball to start the second half. They had the option in the first half and deferred to the second half. 27-14. Melissa Smith, 4 rushing touchdowns so far for the Chicago Force. See if the Force can push that lead up higher. And I think, looking outside the press box, I might have seen a little bit of ray of sunshine. We've had a foggy day all day. Temperatures were supposed to get up to 72 degrees, never got up that high. Maybe about 59 degrees last time I checked. But seeing a little bit of sunshine, still mostly cloudy skies on this beautiful field at Evanston Township High School here in Evanston, Illinois. Nice turf field, fantastic playing field. Force moved all their home games this year to this field. And if you keep hearing me talk about Chicago Force football or watching us on ChicagoForceFootball.com, come out and see a home game. You've got 2 more opportunities. Schedule, tickets, everything's online, ChicagoForceFootball.com. Back deep for the Force, it will be Elby Zuby and Elizabeth Strozinski. Taylor Hay will kick it off for the St. Louis Slam. So we get ready for second half action. Hay moving up to the ball, kicks it off. Low ground ball. Zuby will pick it up at the 27-yard line to the 30, 35, 40, still on her feet. She'll be tripped up at the 43-yard line. Chicago Force will start their first offensive drive of the second half right there. 27-14 Force. Just underway here, second half. You see Elby Zuby coming off the field if you're watching the live stream. 1-2 punch for the Force at quarterback, Sammy Grisafi and Elby Zuby. 2 good quarterbacks. Zuby's had some great penetration inside on her runs today. Gersafi will start off quarterback in the second half. First down and 10. Gersafi in the shotgun, fakes it to Melissa Smith, not a screen to number 7. That's Stephanie Precourt. Incomplete. Precourt couldn't make the catch. It'll bring up second down and 10. That screen had worked in a couple games so far for the Force. They haven't used it much today. Second down and 10. Ball at the 44-yard line of the Chicago Force. Just underway second half. The Force up 27-14. Gersafi back in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. She'll move to her right, throws it over to Serta, and Serta's going to lose some yardage. Nice tackle from number 15, Brooklyn Donahue. Let's bring up third down and long. Third down and 13 for the Force. Nothing happening on that screen for the Force. Nice play from Donahue. They'll bring up third down and 13. The ball marked at the 41-yard line of the Force. See if they can do something on this first drive of the second half. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Hatcher to the left of Gersafi, now in motion. Gersafi gets the shotgun snap. Looks to throw, still looking, in the pocket, throwing deep. On the left side, has a receiver, Jeanette Gray, too far. Ball was thrown to the 30-yard line of the slam, just overthrown from Gersafi to Jeanette Gray. She was open. It would have taken a nice throw. Incomplete. It's going to bring up fourth down and 13. Jeanette Gray was able to beat the defender, just a little too long on the throw from Sammy Gersafi. Fourth and 13. And the Chicago Force will punt. Tricia Charbonneau back to punt it away. Back deep for St. Louis will be their quarterback, Kate Evers. She'll stand at the 28-yard line. Forced to punt in their first drive of the second half, and we're going to get a timeout in the second half. A quick timeout here in the second half. Head coach John Konecki calling for a timeout on special teams, making sure they're all set to punt this ball away. 14:09 to go, third quarter. Chicago Force up 27-14 on the St. Louis Slam. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush is nationally recognized as a leader in comprehensive orthopedic services in sports medicine. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush is proud to be the team physician to the Chicago Bulls, Blackhawks, and your Chicago Force. That's Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. www.rush-ortho.com. Coming out of the timeout, 4th and 13. The Force will kick it away. Again, back deep is Kate Evers. Tricia Charbonneau puts her foot down at the 29-yard line, waiting for the snap. Played less than a minute here in the second half. Force up 27-14. Charbonneau gets a snap. The kick is off. High kick, not too far. It's going to bounce at the 40-yard line and take a sideline bounce, and the Force will down it at the 42-yard line of the St. Louis Slam. Elizabeth Strozinski down there to down it. So the St. Louis Slam will start their first drive of the second half at their own 42-yard line. Good field position for the Slam. 27-14 Force. We've played just a minute here in the third quarter. Andy Garcia here. Pam Sharaffrath will be back with me. She was inducted into the Chicago Force Hall of Fame here at the half. So she's giving her hugs to all her former teammates, having a good time. A special day here for the Chicago Force. Alumni Day. So far, so good for the Force. They're up by 13. St. Louis comes out on offense. Shotgun formation. Evers has a receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Evers, first down and 10. We'll take it right up the middle, and we're going to get a flag. Before the play, we're going to get a flag. It's going to be on the St. Louis Slam. False start on the Slam. It's going to bring up first down and 15. They'll be pushed back to their own 37-yard line. Slam just a little too quick to get going here in the second half. Kate Evers setting up the offense. She's already had 2 rushing touchdowns, 10 now on the season. She'll start the offense at their own 37-yard line, first and 15. Evers in shotgun. She has a running back, Hay, to her left. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Evers is going to move to her left. She's going to get up to the 38-yard line. She'll be taken down there by Martha Dantumum, Darcy Leslie, and Emma Feinstone, and Kate Evers is not getting up yet. Evers might have been hurt again. Evers not getting up. She was hurt just before the end of the first half. She lost a fumble, took a little bit to get up, and now Evers is still on the ground, and she's taking a look at the official talking to him. And now she's back on her feet. Took her a little bit to get up. It looks like she'll be okay. Second down and 9 at the 40-yard line. Evers moved to her left. She was going to run that the whole time. Tried to get to the outside, taken down by Darcy Leslie and Emma Finestone. And Evers is going to have to sit out of play. Back in for the quarterback, St. Louis Slam, number 86, Gail Graff. Graff is going to have to come back in, start this offense. Second down and 12. We'll move the ball back. Second down and 12, ball at the 40. Graff looking to throw. He's going to throw a little screen out to Hay. Makes one man miss at the 32. Still in the backfield. She's going to be tripped up. Nice play from Sammy Skirto and Darcy Leslie. They tripped her up. She lost another 2 yards on that play. It's going to bring up third down and 14. Ball be marked at the 38-yard line. Little screen from Graff, a safe throw as Evers comes back into the game. Graff threw it over to Hay. Little screen pass in the backfield. Made a couple forced players miss, and then she was tripped up. Loss on the play. Third down and 14. The ball marked at the 38-yard line. Kate Evers back in for the St. Louis Slam. She has Hay to her right. Evers falls right to the floor, and she's not right. She's not right. She falls right to the floor. She was just about to take the snap, and she fell right to the ground. And she's not moving. Medical staff is going to come out just about to take the snap. She came back in after missing the play, and she fell right to the floor. Now the medical staff, she's moving her leg a little bit, but the medical staff out quickly to take a look at her. 12:37 to go, third quarter. The Force are up 27-14, but put our attention right now to quarterback Kate Evers. It looks like she may have really been rocked up in that play in the second quarter where she fumbled the ball. And then she got hit early here in the second half, in this third quarter. Went out for the play, came out, and just about to take the snap, she fell to one knee. And now she's on the ground. Still hasn't gotten up. And Evers hasn't moved. She's on her side. She has not moved from getting up from her side. 12:37 to go in the third quarter, 27-14, the Force. And they're going to have the players come off the field. So it looks like a pretty serious injury to Kate Evers. This would be a very tough injury for the St. Louis Slam. Evers came in, as I said, third in rushing in the league. She already has 2 rushing touchdowns already today. And she's on her back. Let's take a timeout. 12:37 to go, third quarter. Chicago Force 27, the St. Louis Slam 14. You're listening to Chicago Force Football on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB. Welcome back to Lazier Field. Kate Evers on her feet. She's moving gingerly back to the sideline with the help of a coach on each side, but it's good to see Kate Evers back on her feet. Took a couple tough hits and a little bit scary when she was about to take the snap and kind of fell right to the ground, but it looks good that Kate Evers is back up and hopefully she'll be okay. It's kind of a huge blow to the St. Louis Slam offense as they now have to kind of work with their second quarterback, Gail Graff, as I bring back in the Hall of Famer, Pam Shafrath.
Wow, what an honor, Andy. I am humbled and feel privileged to be a part of this organization.
It's going to be 3rd down and 13 for the Slam. Graff, the quarterback's going to throw to the right side. Picked up a Skirto at the 40, at the 35-30, to the 25-20. Makes a man miss the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Chicago Force. Tammy Skirto with the interception takes it to the house. And it's now 33-14, Chicago Force.
Wow. What a great run back by Skirto, too. She did a little stiff arm to get in the end zone. Great athletic play.
Nice play. Gail Graff comes in, takes the place of Kate Evers comes in and throws the pick from Skirto. Skirto takes it 40 yards for the touchdown. We've seen that a couple times from the defense this year, huh? Taking the interceptions to the house.
We sure have. Our defense has done a really good job. And, you know, in the past, Andy, our defensive backfield wasn't the strongest part of our defense. But you know what? This year, they've done a really good job with our defensive backs, and they look strong.
The 2-point conversion, no good. Skrsafi fumbled the snap, had to go down on the knee to pick it up, and it's going to be no good on the PAT, but the 40-yard interception for Sammy Skirto. She takes it to the house, gives the Force a 33-14 lead.
So Kate Evers, Andy, does it look like she's out for the game?
Well, what had happened is we saw the play in the first half where she got hit and she fumbled the ball, and it took a little bit of time for her to get up then. The first drive in the second half, she ran the ball, got hit again by 2 Force players, was on the ground for a little bit of time there, had to miss a play. She missed one play, and when she was coming back on the field to get the snap on the next play, kind of fell right down to her knee.
Yeah.
And the officials and the medical staff took a look and gave her some time. She was able to go back to the sideline on her own 2 feet, but she did take some help from the coaches. So let's just hope that Katie Evers is okay, but that's a huge turn of events for the Slam now. The Force up 33-14 because the next play, Graff comes in, throws a pick to Skirto, and takes it to the house.
It's a big blow to the St. Louis offense because, I mean, she's 70% of their offense. So let's see what happens with their backup, and hopefully Katie's okay.
So the Force will kick it off. Tricia Charbonneau, Sharby, put her foot to the ball at the 35, high end over end kick. Hay will pick it up at the 25 to the 30. Moves to her right now to the middle at the 40, still on her feet to the 45, and she'll be taken down at the 42-yard line. Nice tackle from guess who? Darcy Leslie.
Darcy Leslie having a big game, and you know the St. Louis Slam. Hay is going to be. We're going to look to her to be a big part of the offense the second half.
It will be Gail Graff.
Yep.
Some of the stats from Gail Graff. Passing, she's 1 of 2 for the season. Now make it 1 of 3. That's her first pick of the season. She's had 2 carries for -8 yards going into this game. So the St. Louis Slam will be trying to do something very tough. Graff in the shotgun, 1st down and 10. Ball at their own 43-yard line. Hand off to Hay. Moves to her left, should be taken down for a loss by Candace Griffin, by number 91, Tammy Engelman, and also Darcy Leslie in on that play. So the Force now trying to step it up on the defensive side after a big interception for a touchdown, see if they can put the Slam away here in the second half.
Yeah, they're gonna go to Taylor Hay definitely a lot this second half, and they're gonna try and mix it up a little bit in the backfield here. But we'll see how Gail Graff does. I mean, she looks like she's got some size, and she's pretty quick on her feet. Let's see if they can run outside with her too. 2nd and 11 for the Force. Graff gets the snap, tries to throw it to the left side. She's got a man down there. Taylor Hay had to come back for the ball, had to kind of go 180 to get the ball. Incomplete. It's going to bring up 2nd down. Check that 3rd down and 11. Graff got the snap in the shotgun, and Hay was open. Yeah.
Just couldn't make the play.
Yeah, Graff's not scared to throw the ball, and like I said, Hay's going to be a big part of this offense. They're going to use her more this second half, and that would have been a big gain if she caught that ball.
3rd down 11. Ball at the 42-yard line of the Slam. 33-14, the Force, up by 19. Graf back in the shotgun. She has Hay to her left. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 1 coming in motion. Graf fakes the handoff. Now she's in trouble. She loses the ball. Fumble on the floor. Darcy Leslie's going to pick it up at the 25 in for the end zone. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Darcy Leslie. Leslie not only got the sack, picked the ball up, took it to the house. It's now 39-14 Chicago Force.
Wow. Looks like Gail Graf's getting ready to make another pass. Good pressure by the Force. Good sack in the backfield. And it looks like, did you see Darcy Leslie and Sammy Skirtle trying to fight after that ball? Darcy was like, no, I got it. A little quicker to it and run for the score.
For Leslie, that's her second forced fumble, her second fumble recovery, and her first touchdown of the season. And the Force have opened it up here in the second half.
Wow, they sure have with the loss of Kate Evers. It's a big loss for the St. Louis Slam. You hate to see that in a game like this.
Graf looked like she was out of it when she got the snap and she saw 2 Force players going after it. The play was dead and she just tried to make something happen. She lost the ball. Smith will get in for the 2-point conversion. The PAT good on the 2 points for Melissa Smith. That makes the score with 11:09 to go here in the third quarter. It's the Chicago Force 41, the St. Louis Slam 14.
Yeah, they've really blown it out in the open here, the Force, with their defensive pressure and getting these turnovers, Andy. These turnovers, you know, if you notice, weren't a big part of the first half, but now that the St. Louis Slam had this big shift, you know, with the injury to Evers, these turnovers are coming.
41-14, the Force have opened it up, trying to move their record to 4-0 on the season.
And Andy, when you get a new quarterback in there that's not used to playing quarterback, you know, sometimes these turnovers are going to happen, especially with a Force defense like we have.
A couple minutes, I do want to talk to you about the Hall of Fame and just a huge honor for you. I know it's for you to go in with Linda too. You two have played you played both your careers at the same time with the Chicago Force. I know it was a special honor for you to go in, not just in the Hall of Fame, but also go in with Linda.
Well, actually, first of all, Andy, I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I feel privileged to even be able to play the sport of football, Andy. And Linda and I were a tandem on the field, and to be able to go in the Hall of Fame with Linda is even sweeter for me because we were such close teammates on and off the field. So to go in with Linda is icing on the cake for me.
Sharby kicked it off to Taylor Hay. She picked it up at the 25-yard line, got it up to the 35. She was taken down there, and Taylor Hay's not moving. Her leg, she's moving a little bit, but she's not moving much, and we're going to have more of the medical staff come up. This has been always a very tough, hard-hitting series.
It has.
But to see Taylor Hay now go down, this would be just just even bigger loss for the Slam, where Hay picked up got the kickoff at the 25-yard line, moved to her right, was taken down with a pretty hard hit at the 35-yard line. Looks like she's getting up a little bit. She's on her knees, but another tough hit from the Force, and Taylor Hay maybe trying to knock some of the cobwebs out right there.
We've had some, from the start of this game, Andy, we've had some hard hits and some injuries, and throughout the game it's been hard hitting, and like last year was the hardest hitting game of the year. So we knew coming into this game it was going to be a hard hitting game, and it looked like Taylor Hay just awkwardly got tackled, so let's hope that she's okay.
Well, we saw a big hit on Amber Burns. Burns took a nice shot. I didn't see Amber on the sideline right now. She may have gone back, but that was a nice hit coming from St. Louis, and we've seen a couple St. Louis Slam players go down, including starting quarterback Kate Evers, and now Taylor Hay still on the field. Their starting quarterback and starting running back hurt right now. It looks like Taylor being attended at the 34-yard line.
And those two combined, Andy, is pretty much their total offense, so that would be a huge blow to the St. Louis Slam offense right now.
The Force were up by 13, 27-14 at the half. Then the defense has stepped up. 2 defensive touchdowns here in the second half. A 40-yard interception from Sammy Skirto. She took it to the house. The PAT was no good, 33-14. And then Darcy Leslie with the sack, picked up the fumble from 30 yards out, took it into for the end zone to the touchdown. 2-point conversion good, and the Force are up 41-14. We haven't even played 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
It looks
like Hay's going to be up.
Yeah.
Good to see Taylor Hay get up on a tough hit on a kickoff. And the St. Louis Slam will be using a backup quarterback and a backup running back.
Running back now. You know, back to the alumni day today, you know, being out there on the field at halftime with all of the old players and the alumni players, it's just always a good feeling, and it just brings back so many memories, Andy, and it's really, really nice. The turnout today was incredible with the alumni. It just shows how special this organization is.
The Slam will take over at their own 35-yard line, first down and 10. Gail Graff, the quarterback. To her left is Rachel Hinkle. Graff waiting for the snap. Check that. In the backfield with her is number 9, Nikki Taylor. Hand off to Taylor in the backfield. Should be taken down for a loss. Nice play from number 99. That is April Folks.
Number 99, she's one of the new players to the team this year, Andy, April Folks. They call her Tank because she's built like a tank. She's strong, and she's pretty powerful, and you see right there how she can get in and just make a tackle pretty much, look like she manhandled her.
Loss of 3 on the play. It's going to bring up second down and 13. Ball at the 32-yard line in the St. Louis Slam. Slam in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the left. Running back to the left of the quarterback. Graff, handoff again to Taylor. Up the middle. Gain of 2. Stopped on the play. And number 38, Nikki Swain, will bring up third down, and we call it 11.
Nikki Swain is a really good player for the Force. She's another hard hitter. She likes to make hits at that cornerback position. It's good to see her back this year.
She made some big hits last week that opened up some plays for the defense.
Seems like we got a lot of hard hitters this year, Andy.
Third down, 11. Slam handoff, Taylor. Up the middle to the 35, taken down there. It's going to bring up fourth down and 10. And my thoughts are the Slam will probably punt it away. But the problem is their punter is now sitting on the sideline.
Yes. Let's see what they're going to do here.
Fourth down and 10. Ball back at the original line of scrimmage at the 35. Under 9.5 to go third quarter. Chicago Force up 41-14. Both offenses put up a lot of points in the first half. It's been so far the Chicago Force defense putting points on, and Force will punt it away back deep just in case Elby Zuby will sit at the 32-yard line. Graff back deep.
For the punt?
Yep, in the punt formation. Waiting for the snap. Low snap. She gets it off.
Not a bad punt.
Not a bad punt. Zuby at the 41. Moves to her right at the 45. On her feet still, makes 2 tacklers miss at the 50. In Slam territory. Now moves inside the 45-yard line. Should be taken down at the 42-yard line. Good starting field position for the Chicago Force on offense. The defense steps up again. Now let's see if the Force puts some more points on the board. And we got another injury.
We do have another injury. 56.
Number 56 is going to be Mert Davis of the St. Louis Slam. She was in on that tackle.
Yeah, Albiona Zuby, she's an all-around player. She's a backup quarterback. She returns punts. She returns kicks. She plays a little wide receiver. Albiona Zuby's a really, really good all-around player for the Force. You can put her anywhere, and that just shows what kind of athlete she is.
Isn't it about time you came off injury reserve? Schedule a complimentary injury screen at any of our convenient locations and receive personal attention by a licensed medical professional. Complimentary injury screens are free, easy to schedule, and most importantly, provide you with peace of mind. Call 1-877-ATHLETICO or visit us online at athletico.com to find a location near you. Athletico, the official provider of physical therapy and athletic training to the Chicago Force. Again, 8:46 to go in the third quarter. The Force up 41-14.
Speaking of Athletico, Andy, they've been with us from day one of the Force, and their trainers have been like some of the best trainers I've ever dealt with as an athlete, and they really take care of us. And behind any good football team is good trainers, and they've been a big part of the Force, the Athletico, since day one. So they're such a great sponsor for us, and they do a tremendous job.
They're taking again a look at number 56, Mert Davis, who was in on the tackle on the punt. She's still on the field, medical staff out there.
Looks like a knee injury.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
You have your number 31 jersey on.
Yep.
Good looking jersey.
Thank you.
You ever still put it on?
You know what? I only put it on for Force events, but I do get it. You
ever show it off
You know what?
around?
I don't put on my jersey, but you know what I put on every once in a while?
Yeah.
I put on my helmet every once in a while. I do, because there's nothing like the feeling of having a football helmet on, and I miss it. So once in a while, I will put on my football helmet while I'm watching the NFL or something, just to get in in that mind frame. But I do put on my helmet, but every time I put on this jersey, it feels good. It's a tremendous feeling. But it is a little tighter than it used to be, I got to say. It is a little tighter than it used to be, but that's okay.
Alumni Day here at Chicago Force, taking on the St. Louis Slam. Force up 41-14, 8:46 to go third quarter, and the training staff is helping Mert Davis, number 56 of the Slam coaching staff on each side of her, trying to help her off the field. It's been a hard-hitting affair here. We said it would be. It's two teams that play good defense, strong offenses, and last year's game had a lot of hard hits, and this year has been the same.
Yeah, it has. And I mean, these hits have been some of the best hits we've seen, and it goes to show you how bad these players want to win. And there's a lot of heart being shown on the field today. And, you know, with football and hard hitting comes injuries, and it's always tough to see, Andy, but it's really been a good game so far. It's too bad that you know, key injury to Kate Evers on the Slam has opened up the game a little bit. But, you know, I don't think the Slam's backing down here. There's a lot of game left.
Will be forced football at the 42-yard line of the Slam. 41-14, Chicago Force. If you're just tuning in, this is women's semi-pro tackle football. At its best, Grisafi in the shotgun. Hatcher to her right. Grisafi looks to the sideline. Play call from John Konecki, the head coach of the Force. Hatcher's going to move to the left of Grisafi in the shotgun. Two receivers to the left, two to the right. Grisafi waits for the snap, gets it off, fakes the throw, now it's going to throw it to the right side, has a receiver to Elby Zuby inside a zone. 4 Slam players there. Tried to slice it in to Elby Zuby, incomplete. It'll bring up second down and 10.
And that's a good play because Zuby, that fake pass froze the defenders, and Zuby was able to get open on that go pattern. And that a good throw, man, she would have been gone for a touchdown. But you can see the speed on Elby, and it's important wide receivers run their routes well. She runs their routes really well.
Second down and 10, ball at the 42-yard line. Grisafi back in shotgun. Melissa Smith now to her right. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Grisafi, hand off to Smith. Up the middle at the 40, still on her feet to the 35, inside the 35 to the 30-yard line. She just bowls people over.
Let's see, it took 5 orange jerseys to tackle Melissa Smith. 5 of them. It just goes to show you how tough she's going to be, I think, for any defense to take her down this year. Very tough.
It's enough for a first down and 10 for the Force at the Slam 31-yard line. More fast break offense. Zuby now, the quarterback for the Force. Serta in motion, gets the handoff. Little jet sweep to the right at the 30 to the 27-yard line, taken down there by number 17, Brittany Artis. Nice run on first down. It's going to bring up second down and 6. Yep. Ball will be put down at the 27-yard line of the Slam.
Yeah, Brittany Artis is that good-sized defensive end for the Slam that made a good play on that handoff to Brandy Serta coming across the line of scrimmage. Really good play by that defensive end.
Second down and 7 for the Force. Grisafi in shotgun. Handoff. Mary Chules up the middle. 25, spins down at the 20-yard line. Might mark it down at the 21. Enough for the first down? No, just short. It'll be close at first down. See if they just short of first down. It's going to be third down in inches for the Force inside the 21-yard line of the Slam.
Mary Chules, Andy, is that rookie for us this year. Really, really good running back with a lot of energy. And I spoke with her one of the first practices I was at this year, and she's really excited to be a Chicago Force member and getting a chance to play football.
She had a touchdown in the first home game this season. Grisafi in the shotgun. Handoff, Hatcher. Up the middle to the 20, trips to the 16-yard line. That's going to be enough for the first down. First down and 10 for the Chicago Force at the 16-yard line of the St. Louis Slam. The Force are up 41-14 with 6:50 to go here in the third quarter.
Hatcher does such a really good job of following her blocks, and even if there's nowhere to go, she does a good job of staying behind her blocks. And it looks like she's not going to get anything. She winds up getting like 3 yards. She does a good job of pushing in there.
They're going to mark it down at the 18. Grisafi, shotgun again. Straczynski in motion. Grisafi had to pick the handoff, pick the snap up, hands it off to Jeanette Gray. She may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. The play was kind of all messed up with Grisafi getting the snap and fumbling it, but we're going to have a false start on Chicago anyway, so we're going to move it back. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I do think you're going to see a lot of different plays Coach Konecki's going to call here because he's going to want to work on different formations. different players getting the ball, Sammy doing different things, Grisafi, different receivers running different routes. I think you're going to see the rest of this game a lot of different plays that Coach Konecki wants to practice on.
So it's going to be first down and 15. Ball at the 23-yard line. Grisafi, shotgun. 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Grisafi screen to Zubi on the left side, has blockers. At the 25, at the 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Chicago Force. LB Zubi on the screen from 24 yards out, and now it's 47-14 Chicago Force.
Number 16, Atlanta Fields, had her in the backfield. She read the play well. She knew it was going to LB Zubi on that short screen pass, and she just couldn't make the play. And because you don't make the play, it ends up in a touchdown. So, I mean, like I said, she's a backup quarterback. She's a punt returner. She's a receiver. She's a running back. LB Zubi is really doing it all this year for us. And it just seems like, I don't know, Andy, you look at these games with the Force, it just seems like each game new players are coming out. And they're just, you know, coming out with these great games, and it just goes to show you how deep the Force is.
Grisafi on the two-point conversion hands it off to Melissa Smith, and she gets in. The two-point conversion is good. We now have 6 minutes to go, third quarter. It's the Chicago Force 49, the St. Louis Slam 14. Big lead for the Chicago Force. Turnaround here in the third quarter. Some big hits on Kate Evers and Taylor Hay have knocked out the St. Louis quarterback and running back, and the Force have taken advantage, scoring 3 touchdowns here in the second half, 2 of them from their defense.
Yeah, and the biggest and quickest shift I've seen in a long time in the football game. You go into the halftime, you know, halftime scores 19-14, real close game, back and forth, and it just goes to show you sometimes with a team like St. Louis Slam, when the roster isn't so big, that when you have key injuries like this, it's tough to go to other players.
You know, we talked about in the first half how a lot of the St. Louis Slam players would have to play both ways. I'm looking on the bench. I can count 4 players on the bench for the St. Louis Slam, and one of them was hurt.
Yeah.
So you're talking about players who have to play the whole game, Pam, and again, that can wear you out.
It's really hard to play the game of football both ways, and when you play both ways,
Sharby kicks it off to Hay. She muffed it, had to go back and pick it up at the 32-yard line, and she'll be taken down there. Nice kick from Sharby. Hay came to pick it up and dropped it, had to go back and pick it up, so St. Louis will start at their own 32-yard line. The Force up 49-14 with 5:55 to go here in the third quarter.
the good thing is that Hay's back in the game.
Yeah.
But going back to what we were talking about, it's so hard to play both ways in this game of football, and when you do play both ways, you got to take plays off. And you don't want to take plays off in the game of football because that's when mistakes happen.
St. Louis Slam trying to get something going here in the second half. See who will be the quarterback. It should be Gail Graff. $5:51 to go here in the third quarter. 49-14. Here come the Slam. Graff, shotgun. She has a running back to her left and to her right. Gets a snap, hand off to Nikki Taylor. Up the middle, misses on one tackle, and then taken down at the 45-yard line. Check that, 35-yard line. Nice run on first down for a couple yards. Going to bring up second down and 7.
Yeah, Nikki Taylor has, you know, a few carries this year. Obviously, she's one of the backups, but she has a few carries with the long of 12 yards, so they're going to be going to her for the rest of this game, too, and see if she can break one open here.
Clock is running. Third quarter, Force up 49-14. Second down and 7. Graff, shotgun, gets a snap. Hands off to Hay. She'll move up, still on her feet, taken down at the 37-yard line. A couple more yards. It's going to bring up third down, and we'll call it 6.
Yeah, good tackle by defensive tackle number 91, Tammy Engelman. You know, she's another one of those players. If you look at the Force's tackles right now, okay, you got number 99, you know, Tank, and you got 91, Engelman. I mean, those have got to be the 2 biggest tackles in the league, and if they play at their best, someone like Tammy on that play came across the field and made the tackle. Just goes to show you how fast she is for her size. That's a good defensive line for the Force.
Third down and 6, ball at the 37-yard line. Graff, shotgun, Hay to her left. Shotgun, that little screen to Hay. She'll be taken down in the backfield by number 24, Candace Griffin, and also by number 85, Kim Marks. Loss on the play. It's going going to bring up 4th down and 9 for the St. Louis Slam.
Candace Griffin, our strong safety, in on the blitz, had her wrapped up, missed her, and then you had Marks coming in with the big hit to finish it off.
Under 4 minutes to play, third quarter. Chicago Force up 49-14. It's going to bring up 4th down. We'll call it 8. Ball is at the 34-yard line of the Slam. It's just trying to get something going with their starting quarterback, Kate Evers, out. Gail Graff, the quarterback, in shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Graff gets a snap, little screen to Hay. Gets it at the 25 to the 30, up to the 35, still on her feet, and then a fumble. Ball's on the ground, and we'll see who picks it up. Looks like the Force may have it, or is it the Slam? It's going to be the Slam who picked it up. Ball down at the 33-yard line. Check that, 38-yard line. And that's going to bring up 4th down, or check that, 1st down.
1st down, yeah.
That was a 4th down play. So 1st down for the Chicago Force. Slam just trying to get something going, Pam, and try that screen, and just couldn't get the yardage on 4th down. Nice play from the Chicago Force defense.
Yeah, I credit the St. Louis Slam offense for trying to get something going, and maybe that 1st down would give them some momentum, score, try and get some scores put together here in the, early or late in the third quarter to get the game closer. But our Force defense right now is playing really, really strong.
1st down and 10. Zuby, quarterback, shotgun, moves to her left. To the 35, still on her feet, to the 30, inside the 30-yard line, down at the 28-yard line. Nice run on 1st down for Elby Zuby. Gain of 9. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 1 for the Force.
Yeah, the Force does such a good job of following their blocks on these running plays. And, any kind of coach that coaches running backs or quarterbacks that run, you got to look at this film by the Force. They do a really good job of following their blocks and getting some yardage.
2nd and 1. Ball at the 28. Sammy Grisafi, back as the quarterback. She has Mary Chules to her left. Hand off Chules, up the middle. 25, down at the 20-yard line. It's going to be enough for the 1st down. Another 1st down for the Chicago Force offense.
Yep.
2.5 to go here, third quarter. It's 49-14, and the Force knocking the door again for another touchdown.
I really like how Mary Chules is getting some yards here and getting some carries, because she's someone that, is a rookie, and you want to give her a taste out there. And I think that's a good thing for the Force.
1st down and 10. Shovel pass inside the Hatcher at the 15, taken down at the 12-yard line. Grisafi with the shotgun, letting the defensive line move to her, and then that little shovel pass to Brandy Hatcher inside. Nice gain on 1st down, a gain of 8. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2.
First time we've seen that today. It's kind of nice to go to that play when you have most of the game you're just doing a typical handoff to Hatcher. It's nice to have that little shuffle pass to her, to have that in your repertoire.
Ball at the 11, 2nd and 2. Handoff Bergeron on the jet sweep. Tries to go to the outside on the right. She'll be taken down at the 10-yard line. Close to the 1st down. Might be a little bit short. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. Ashley Bergeron getting her 1st handoff today.
Yeah, first time we've seen her. She was a big part of the offense last year. I'm not surprised we'll see her more of the offense as we go on throughout the year. Another good athlete. She was actually an All-American Illinois basketball player.
Yeah, Coach Konecki told me before the game that he wanted to get Ashley some more play.
Yeah, real good athlete for the Force.
3rd and 1 for the Force at the 11. Handoff Chules. Up the middle. 10, 5, touchdown,
Nice.
Chicago Force.
Nice.
Mary Chules with her 2nd rushing touchdown of the season adds to the lead. It's now the Chicago Force 55, the Slam 14.
I like the way she runs, Andy. She looks like a natural out there. I don't know what you think. She looks like she carries the ball just naturally, and follows her holes, follows her blockers. She's a good little running back for us as a rookie. She's really fun to watch. It's good to see her out there.
You get Melissa Smith. You got Brandy Hatcher and Mary Chules. Here's the 2-point conversion. Handoff to guess who? Melissa Smith in again for the 2-point conversion. That is good. And now the lead with 1 minute to go in the third quarter. It's the Chicago Force 57, the St. Louis Slam 14.
And then you got Albiona Zuby, who can run with the ball. We've got a lot of different athletes and different weapons on this Force football team. And I don't know, I have a feeling, Andy, after this game, the St. Louis Slam coaches are really going to tell coaches around the league the kind of team that the Force has.
Got to give a shout out to the Chicago Spirit Brigade. Cheerleaders, the Chicago Force out there. It's good to see the Chicago Spirit Brigade doing their thing on the sidelines. Always great to have such great supporters. You can see them if you're watching on ChicagoForceFootball.com. You can see the the Chicago Spirit Brigade. You've seen them around for a long time.
Yeah.
They're great to have out there.
They are great to have out there. And, you know, a lot of people come watch the Force football, and we've really made it a good game experience for people, and they're a big part of that experience and such a big commitment to our team.
The Force kick it off. Sharby puts her foot to the ball.
Great
Hay
pick.
will pick it up at the 25 to the 30. Moves to her right, trying to get to the outside, and Martha Dantuma will take her down at the 33-yard line of the Slam. See if the St. Louis Slam just can get something going. They've been outscored in the second half, 30-0.
Yeah.
That's just nothing you can do when you lose your couple players, key players, but the Force aren't going to give up anything right now.
No, they're not going to give up anything. And, you know, each game you want to get better, and I guarantee you, Coach Lewandowski, Coach Konecki of the Force, they're saying don't let up, not to have a blowout, but to stay focused, stay concentrated, and to, you know, work on things and work on still executing in this game, because it's going to make you a better, you know, you want to play all 4 quarters. And when you don't play all 4 quarters, when you get hurt, Andy.
Yep.
So,
No, you're
you know,
exactly right.
everyone needs to just still execute and play all 4 quarters here.
Graff in the shotgun. She has Hay to her right, Nikki Taylor to her left. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw on the right side, and it's going to be overthrown. Tried to get it to Taylor Hay from out in the backfield. A little bit too far, incomplete. Bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Slam.
Yeah, I like how the Slam is going to try and get some passes in here, maybe for some long gains to score a touchdown. Some of these receivers, you know, like I just talked about, you got to play all 4 quarters. This quarterback of the St. Louis Slam, this backup quarterback Gail Graff right now, she makes these passes. Those are just a few long gains. So, like, this Force defense, they still got to play the second half. And I know we're winning by a lot, but there's some pockets in there that if there was a good pass, there would be some big gains.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Our score, the Chicago Force 57, the St. Louis Slam 14. More to come, the 4th quarter coming up. The Force up big on the Slam as you're listening to Chicago Force Football on chicagoforcefootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB.
Spin Nightclub is a sponsor of our Game Day MVP Award. At the end of each home game, we select an offensive and defensive player of the game. Spin Nightclub offers a comfortable and friendly environment for everyone, located at the corner of Belmont and Halsted. Athletico. Isn't it about time you came off injured reserve? Schedule a complimentary injury screening at any of our convenient locations and receive personal attention by a licensed medical professional. Complimentary injury screenings are free, easy to schedule, and most importantly, provide you with peace of mind. Call 1-877-ATHLETICO or visit us online at athletico.com to find a location near you. Athletico, the official provider of physical therapy and athletic training to the Chicago Force. MOR is proud to be the team physician to the Chicago Bulls, Blackhawks, and your Chicago Force. That's Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. www.rushortho.com.
The Chicago Force, entering its 10th anniversary season, is a proud member of the Women's Football Alliance. The WFA plays under the same full-contact football rules as the NFL. Comprised of 60 teams from across the United States and Mexico, the WFA is the largest women's American football league in the country. From Florida to Oregon and from New England to California, the WFA consists of the best teams in the nation.
Welcome back. Start of the 4th quarter. The Chicago Force up big, 57-14 on the St. Louis Slam. The Force outscored the Slam 30-0 in that 3rd quarter. Take the big lead here into the 4th quarter. Andy Garcia alongside the Hall of Famer, number 31, Pam Schaffrath, and a good 3rd quarter for the Chicago Force. It's been a close game until that 3rd quarter where the Force took over.
Yeah, it was a really close game going into halftime, and injuries have hurt the St. Louis Slam.
2nd down and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Graff hands it off to Hay. Moves to her left. Tries to get to the 40. Won't get there. Taken down at the 39-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6. Start of the 4th quarter here.
That was a play by the Slam. You know, they wanted to take advantage of the outside again. And the Force was there in containment. Candace was right there. And I do think that, you know, it's hard to look at the Force and see what they need to work on. There's always something to work on. But they still need to work on that contain, especially against the faster players.
Well, we saw Evers be able to do that on the outside. Early in the game, she was able to get to the outside and gave the Force some problems.
Yeah, contain's a tough thing to do.
3rd down and 6. Ball at the 38-yard line. Graff in shotgun. Hands it off. She's going to be taken. Engelman with a huge stop. Looked like Nikki Taylor taken down. Tammy Engelman with a big Loss. Tackle for a loss. Going to bring up a 4th down and 9 for the St. Louis Slam.
Engelman, for her size, can really move, and it goes to show you, too, once she gets set up to tackle, she just wraps those arms around you and you're down. Big play by Tammy Engelman in the backfield, and that's a tough Force defensive line right there.
4th down and 9. Ball at the 35-yard line of the Slam. 13.5 to go, 4th quarter. Chicago Force on their way to moving the record to 4-0 in this season. Then we start the second half of action. Graf in the shotgun, throws on the left side, has a receiver. Hey, caught at the 45, 40, 35, and then taken from behind, down by number 30, Alicia Oakrey. But a nice play from Taylor Hay. Nice throw from Gail Graf. Nice play for the Slam. It's going to be 1st down and 10. Ball be marked at the Force 32-yard line.
Yeah, what did I say? There's some pockets in there that we need to work on. And if the backup quarterback, Gail Graf, can make those passes, they can get some big yardage here. And we saw that earlier. There's some few incomplete passes that weren't as accurate of passes, but those players were open. So this Force defense needs to work on their coverage a little bit more.
Nice throw from Graf. Nice catch from Hay. It's 1st down and 10 for the Slam at the Force 32. Graf throwing on the slant to Donahue, and it's going to be incomplete. Nice play from 45, Dorian Bridges. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Dorian Bridges got her hand in there. 2nd down and 10 for the Slam. 12.5 to go, 4th quarter. The Chicago Force up 57-14.
Pretty accurate pass there by Gail Graf on that slant play, but a good play by number 45, Dorian Bridges, to break it up. She was there at the right time to break it up.
2nd and 10. Graf in shotgun. Has Taylor to her right. It's going to throw deep on the left side. Has a receiver, and it's going to be deflected away. Nice deflection from Anna Feinstein. As you said, 5 pass deflections coming into this game. Deflects another one, incomplete, 3rd down and 10.
I think that's her 2nd deflection today, and you will always guarantee Emma Feinstein, she might not have the size, but she's going to be stuck to you like glue, and it just goes to show you there. It was a little underthrown pass, stuck to her like glue. Really good play by Emma Feinstein. She really has become a really good pass defender for this Force defense.
3rd down and 10 for the Slam. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Nikki Taylor to the right in shotgun of Graf. Graf gets a snap. Looking to throw on the left side. Deep, and it's going to be caught. No! Taken away. Almost had a catch to Taylor Hay. She had it in her grasp, couldn't keep it. Incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Check that, 4th down and 10. That could have been caught. That should have been caught from Taylor Hay.
It should have been caught. It looked like a partial deflection somewhere on the way to her, but another good route by Hay and another good pass. That would have been a really big gain for the St. Louis Slam. They're not giving up here, Andy.
Let's see if the Force can get a stop on 4th down. 4th down and 10. Under 11 minutes to go, 4th quarter. Ball at the Force 32-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Nikki Taylor in the backfield with Graf. Shotgun, gets a snap. Looking to throw on the right side, and it's taken away. Nice deflection from Dorian Bridges. Her 2nd on this drive.
Yep.
And the Force will take over on downs. Nice play from Dorian Bridges and the Force defense.
Great coverage. And you know what I like to see, Andy, about this coverage? The best thing about this coverage is, and I like this on any defensive player, is being physical.
Yep.
And you got to be physical in this game. And to win, you've got to be more physical than the other team. You've got to beat your player. Your goal is to beat your player in every play. And these 2 last plays with our defenders, you can tell they were more physical than the other player.
So the defense makes a stop. The Force will take over at their own 32-yard line. Just over 10 minutes to go, 4th quarter. Chicago Force up big, 57-14. Elby Zuby now will be the quarterback in shotgun. Hands it off to Precourt on a little jet sweep. Now cuts in the middle. Past the 30-yard line. May have gotten to the 30. She did. She lost some yardage. Loss of 2. It's going to be 2nd down and 12.
Precourt, a new person we're seeing right now. I told you Coach K is going to get some people in there and get some carries and run some different formations with some different players just to get an idea on what people can do.
2nd down and 12 at their own 30. Grisafi back in, shotgun. Bergeron to her right. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Force going to spread it out. Grisafi calling out the signals. Get the snap, hand off, Bergeron to the right, to the 30. Tries to cut inside to the 35. Still on her feet, she'll be tripped up there. Nice run from Ashley Bergeron. It's going to bring up 3rd down. We'll call it 7. Just 9 minutes to go, 4th quarter. Force up big.
So you look at this team, Andy. This is the 10th season for the Force, and you know every year is different for any team. But there's a lot of good athletes on this team.
3rd and 7. Ball at the 35. Krisafi, handoff inside Hatcher. At the 35, spin move. Should be taken down at the 39-yard line. Short of the first down. It'll bring up 4th down and 3. 8.5 to go on a 4th down play coming from the Chicago Force.
Yeah, good tackle by number 74, Antonia Washington, of the St. Louis Slam there, defensive tackle. She made a good play following the play on pursuit and making that tackle, Brandy Hatcher.
4th and 3 at the 39. The Force will punt it away. Tricia Charbonneau back deep to punt it for the Force. No one back deep for the St. Louis Slam. I think the Slam are expecting maybe a fake here or just kind of letting the punt go off. Now the Force have enough players on the field.
I think this is the first punt of the day for the Force.
Charby will get the snap. The punt in the air. Not a very long kick. It's going to bounce.
Blocked a little bit,
Yep.
I thought. Touched.
Just past midfield, and Carolyn Lee will down it at the 49-yard line of St. Louis Slam. So Slam will have good field position as they start at their own 49-yard line, but they're in an uphill climb. They're down 57-14 with 7:40 to go, 4th quarter.
Yeah, I do think, like I said at the beginning of the game, Andy, I see the Force looking at this as going into halftime of the season. You want to go in on a high. Anytime you go into halftime, you want to be ahead and you want to go in with momentum, and I think the Force is definitely going into the second half of the season with a lot of momentum here.
It will be Gail Graff again, just joining us. The starting quarterback for the St. Louis Slam was taken out by a couple hits from the Force. Kate Evers, she had 2 rushing touchdowns already in the game, and a couple hits knocked her out of the game. And now Gail Graff, the second-string quarterback in, shotgun formation, looking to throw on the left side, throws it, has a receiver, and it's going to be too high. Too high to the intended receiver on the far side, and that was trying to get to Robin Morrow. It's going to be incomplete, 2nd down and 10 for the Slam.
Yeah, Gail Graff's got a little bit of zip on that ball, it looks like, when she passes it. That's, you know, pretty good zip, pretty good accuracy on that play.
I see Robin Morrow on the field, and I say, she's pretty tall. She's right
Yeah.
next to Robin Hay, or to right next to Taylor Hay. Well,
Yeah.
Morrow, I go, okay, 5'9", but the problem is Taylor Hay's only 4'11".
Yeah, so
she does look pretty tall,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
2nd and 10 for the Slam at their own 49. 6.5 to go, 4th quarter. Force up big, 57-14. Graff in the shotgun, looking to throw to her left. Has a receiver, it's going to be short. Almost intercepted by number 19 of the Chicago Force, Samantha Hundley. Incomplete, brings up 3rd down and 10 for the Slam.
It's nice, too, because with this big lead, I think Coach Lewandowski is getting some defensive players in and getting some time in. And, you know, that's important throughout the year to get your players in. You know, I don't like to call them backups because I think each player on a team has their own role.
Yep.
And each role is important to the team. So to get these players in and getting some game time, I think is important for the Force.
3rd and 10 for the Slam. Graff, shotgun, looking to throw. Right side deep. Has a receiver too high. Tried to get it to 15, Brooklyn Donahue. Nice defense, though, there from the Force, too. Dorian Bridges back there. Incomplete's going to bring up 4th down and 10 for the St. Louis Slam.
I thought for a minute there Brooklyn Donahue was going to snag that ball. She's 5'10". It was a pretty good pass. She didn't time it. It looked like the timing was off a little bit, but I thought she was going to snag it there. That's a pretty tall receiver and a good pass by Gail Graff.
Just over 5 minutes to go here in the ballgame. Chicago Force up 57-14. Slam will go for it on 4th down from their own 49. It's 4th down and 10. Graff gets a shotgun snap, throws it up deep, and it's complete. She has a receiver. Are they going to call it complete? Yes, they will. 1st down. Nice throw to Robin Morrow. Slam get the drive to continue. They'll be downed at the 33-yard line. Nice throw from Graff tomorrow for the first down.
Gail Graff has a pretty good accurate arm there, getting to her receivers, and she's got some tall receivers. She's getting it to the spot of the route, and a really good catch by Morrow, and she was more physical on that play and was able to grab it.
An 18-yard catch for Robin Morrow. It's 1st down and 10 for the Slam at the Force 33-yard line, 4:20 to go here in the 4th quarter. I kind of like the play of Gail Graff. I mean, if
yeah.
you lose Evers, Graff has shown she'll come in and try to make some plays. Shotgun Graff throws it over in the middle to Taylor Hay, just a little bit too high. Hay was open on the crossing route. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10 with 4 minutes to go.
There's some bubbles in that defense in that crossing route there. I know that there's a different set of people on the field right now for the Force. But, I give the St. Louis Slam a lot of credit here. They're not giving up. They're trying to score here late in the 4th quarter, trying to get some sort of positive at the end of this game with the tough injuries to their star players.
2nd down and 10, ball at the 33. Graff in the shotgun. Nikki Taylor to her right. Gets a snap, looking to throw on the left side, too high. Tried to get it back to Robin Murrow. Incomplete. Be 3rd down and 10.
There was some pressure there on that play. It looked like Robin Morrow had to rush that throw. That's why that throw was overthrown by, guess again, Kim Marks.
Yep. Kim Marks is in every play. He's had a fantastic season so far. Kim Marks and Amber Burns, Darcy Leslie. That defense is
Sammy
really...
Skirto with some good tackles. You got Candace Griffin in there, who's just a serious player, loves to play the game. I just really like the look of this Force defense. This Force defense is the strongest it's been in a long time.
The Force came into the game only allowing 5 points per game. They've had 2 straight bagels. 4th and 10, Graff. Throwing to the far side, and it's going to be incomplete. Tried to get it to Donahue, and Donahue's not going to get up right away.
Looked at
Check that was to the near side. Nice play from Dorian Bridges again, though.
Yeah, right on her. Good coverage. I thought that throw was a little bit right on the money there. I don't know what happened if player didn't see it at the last minute, but the play of Dorian Bridges was, when it's close coverage like that, it's tough to see the ball.
That's going to bring up 4th down and 10. Ball at the 33. 2:18 to go in the 4th quarter. Chicago Force 57-14 on the St. Louis Slam. It's been all the Force in the second half. They've outscored St. Louis 30-0 here in the second half. Defense has stepped up on 2 touchdowns, a 40-yard interception from Sammy Skirto, took it to the house. Darcy Leslie got the sack, fumble recovery from 30 yards out. And then a 24-yard touchdown pass from Zuby, from Grisafi to Zuby. And then the 11-yard touchdown run from Mary Chules.
You look at this because you're right, 30-0 in the second half, so it was 27-14 at half, my mistake earlier. But, it's been all Force second half. What a big shift from the first half. It was back and forth, offense, defense, Slam, Force, and it was the biggest shift I've seen in a long time in a game. And, it goes to show you on a team like the Slam we were talking about earlier, when you've got such a short roster and these injuries happen, it's a real big blow to your team.
Don't forget, join us next week here at Lazier Field here in Evanston Township High School as the Force will host the West Michigan Mayhem, another division foe. West Michigan game into today's action, also undefeated. That game will be here again at Evanston Township High School next Saturday. If you can't join us, you can watch the stream on ChicagoForceFootball.com or hear it on AM 1230 WJOB as we have the 2-minute warning here.
Yeah, we got a big division game next week with the Western Michigan Mayhem, and they're undefeated going into today's game. So it's going to be a big game next week, big conference game, and your goal is to get to the championship of any year, and you got to win your conference. So it's going to be a big game for the Force next week, and we'll see how Western Michigan does today.
4th and 10. Graff throws it out to Hay. Incomplete. Wouldn't have been enough for the first down anyways. That'll be a turnover on downs. The Force will take over with 1:47 to go on the clock, and the clock is still running with the score 57-14.
Yeah, so talking about conference, any road to the championship is winning your conference. So I do believe next week is a big game for the Force. It's a conference game. Like I said, going into today, Western Michigan's 3-0. So it could be 2 4-0 teams next week going at each other, for the conference lead.
Yeah, West Michigan was on the road this week taking on the Detroit Dark Angels. The Force will take over. Also want to give a great thank you again to our crew and staff out here. Our cameramen Jeff Corey and Rob Cantu, our director Chuck Pullen, and Ryan Walsh doing our graphics and audio today. Great job, guys, as we bring you give you all the action of Chicago Force football, and hope you guys are enjoying the stream and also listening on the radio. As the Force take over, under a minute to go with the running clock. Grisafi, handoff, Chules up the middle. She's stiffed right there. stood up by number 16, Alana Fields.
Yeah.
Alana Fields has had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
You may not see it in the box score, but Alana's had a big game. That was a good stop there on first down.
Yeah, Alana Fields, I think, has had several big plays today. She's one of those defensive ends who's very athletic, good size, 5'8", 215, and she gets around on that field from sideline to sideline.
This might be the last snap as Safi hands it off again to Chules right up the middle. Still on her feet on the right side. She'll get to the 35-yard line. As we said, West Michigan taking on Detroit. Detroit's also an undefeated team, 3-0, so that's got to be a good game today. We'll see when the standings come out this week, see if the Force are in first place all by themselves in their division. We'll see if the Force may want to get one more snap off third down, under 10 seconds, and I think that's going to be enough. I do not think they're going to run another play, and it will not. That'll be the final score. The Chicago Force 57, the St. Louis Slam 14. The Chicago Force moved their record to 4-0. The St. Louis Slam fall to 2-2. Chicago Force 57-14. A strong run in the second half for the Force.
I got to tell you, each game of the season leads to, a better team and what you need to do for the next game. I got to tell you, this game for the Force, I think, was definitely a big game because, Andy, St. Louis is a good team.
Right.
St. Louis is one of the top 10 teams in the league, top 15 at least, and look at the score, 57-14. I just think this shows a lot about the Force and where they stand. And, I know there were a lot of injuries to the Slam today, but, Chicago beat Kansas City Tribe 21-14.
Yep.
The St. Louis Slam lost to Kansas City Tribe 33-14. It just goes to show you where the Force stands here in the league, and I think, they're one of the teams to beat. And I do think St. Louis Slam going home on the road, and the coaches, or when they got to take the long road home, I think the Force is gonna be the talk around the league, is what I'm trying to say.
Again, a big thank you to sponsors Spin Nightclub, Hop House in Rogers Park, Hot Doug's in Chicago, Athletico, Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, and Buffalo Wild Wings in Evanston. Let's take a break. Final score, Chicago Force 57, the St. Louis Slam 14. You're listening to Chicago Force Football on chicagoforcefootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB. Welcome back. A big win for the Chicago Force, 57-14 over the St. Louis Slam. Andy Garcia alongside the Hall of Famer Pam Schaffrath. A big win for the Force tonight, and it started on the offensive side with Melissa Smith. 4 rushing touchdowns for the night. That's now 11 for the season. They just kept that running game going for the Force, and then the defense stepped up in the second half. 30 unanswered points for the Force in the second half, and that's how they got the big win over St. Louis.
Yeah, it was Force offense first half and all Force defense second half, and it goes to show you how well balanced this team is. And to beat a team like the Slam with by this amount of points says a lot about the Chicago Force, and I think we should be very happy with this team.
Let's go through the scoring pretty quick. In the first quarter, a 21-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith. PAT was good, gave the Force a 7-0 lead. Then 6.5 to go in the first half. A 1-yard touchdown run from Kate Evers, the quarterback from St. Louis. PAT was good, tied it up at 7-7. 4.5 to go first quarter. 1-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith. Her second of the game, 9th of the season. PAT no good, but it was 13-7 going into the second quarter. 11:15 to go. In that second quarter, a 35-yard touchdown run from Kate Evers. Her second of the game, 10th rushing touchdown of the season. The PAT was good, gave the Slam a 14-13 lead. 8:32 to go in the second quarter, a 1-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith. Her third of the game, 10th of the season, 2-point conversion, no good. It forced her up 19-14. Then I thought a big play here, a minute 39 to go, the 9-yard touchdown run. You get the stop from the Force defense and the Force offense, able to drive down the field. 9-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith. Her fourth of the game, 11th of the season. 2-point conversion was good. The Force 27-14 at the half. That was kind of the turning point there in the first half.
I thought it was a huge turning point because it puts them up by 2 scores at least, and it makes a big shift in momentum going into the second half, and that's always tough for a team like, St. Louis Slam, knowing that their quarterback is hurt, going into halftime with a 2-touchdown lead like they did.
Then it opened up in the third quarter for the Force. 12-11 to go, third quarter, 40-yard interception from Sammy Skirto after Kate Evers, the starting quarterback for the Slam, got hurt. Gail Graff came in, threw a pick to Sammy Skirto. She ran it back 40 yards for the interception for the touchdown. PAT was no good, 33-14. And then another defensive play for the Force. Darcy Leslie with the sack, took it back 30 yards on the fumble recovery for the touchdown. 2-point conversion was good. The Force led 41-14. And then Sammy Grasafia, 24-yard touchdown pass to Albie Zuby. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2-point conversion, good, 49-14. And then to finish the scoring with a minute to go in the third quarter. 11-yard touchdown run from Mary Chules, her second of the season. 2-point conversion was good. The Force up 57-14. You talked about that 30-0 lead in the second half where the Force won 57-14. The defense had to step up. They did. Darcy Leslie, Kim Marks. A lot of the big name players stepped up for the Force.
They sure did. And if you look at the stats today, everyone was involved today. And, we had Darcy Leslie had a great game. She's defensive game MVP. Albiona Zubi, offensive game MVP, shows how diverse she is. But when you look at these stats by the Force, everyone gets involved. And, up until that 41-14 lead in the third quarter, those 2 touchdowns were defensive touchdowns by the Force. By that time, unfortunately, the St. Louis Slam had their injuries. They're playing both ways. They're getting tired. But I got to give a lot of credit to the St. Louis Slam because they never gave up. They tried getting a big positive at the end of the game. But I got to tell you, good teams like the Force, they play every down. And I think today they played every down, and that's the sign of a good team. And I don't care what the score is. So I think that's a sign of a good team.
57-14, the Chicago Force get the win. And we move on. Pam, look at it, 31 jersey, come on, the Hall of Famer. We move on to the next week to take on West Michigan, another division foe, where you can take a big-time advantage in the division as you move on to the playoffs.
Yeah, next weekend's a big game for the Force. It could be 4-0, both teams. Conference play, like I said, the road to the championship. You got to win your conference. So next week's a big conference game for the Force. Western Michigan Mayhem. Join us. I think it's going to be a great game.
So the Chicago Force moved to 4-0 on the season after a 57-14 win over the St. Louis Slam. The Slam moved to 2-2. We get ready for the West Michigan Mayhem here next week at Evanston Township High School. Join us if you can. If you cannot get to the game, you can right here on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB. Always great working with you.
You too,
Always
Andy.
great to get some face time.
You make
too.
it easy. It is.
The
It
staff
is.
is great.
It is. I better tuck my tummy in though.
Once again, the final score, the Chicago Force 57, the St. Louis Slam 14. For Pam Schaffrath and the crew, I'm Andy Garcia. Thank you for watching and listening to Chicago Force Football. We'll see you next week on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB.
The Chicago Force, entering its 10th anniversary season, is a proud member of the Women's Football Alliance. The WFA plays under the same full-contact football rules as the NFL. Comprised of 60 teams from across the United States and Mexico, the WFA is the largest women's American football league in the country. From Florida to Oregon and from New England to California, the WFA consists of the best teams in the nation.